Oh, yes. Anyways, it is 7:30. It says 7:30 in my time, and I am fucking correct. Oh, okay, let's read this first. Ame's injury list. I don't want to bump my mic. I keep bumping my mic. Hit head on drawer while jumping. Got her infamous head hole. Okay. Slipped and bit her tongue. Nearly came off. Brilliant woman. Ball to the face. Knocked off 3 teeth. Absolutely intelligent. Bitten by dogs in face, hand, arm, almost throat. 10 out of 10. Ankle run over by car wheel. Scraped off a bunch of skin. It's not too bad. That's not the worst you could get. Left inside a hot car hard enough to melt crayons. What, you haven't been? Had eyelid cut from a flying piece of ice from a thrown cup of beer. Oh, that girl's just unlucky. Got permanent ear damage from being near speakers in concerts. Yeah, that's why you don't go near them. Arm crushed by a big dude in mosh pit. Why are you in a mosh pit, you small creature? Thumb piece cut off from trying to peel with knife. Yeah, you don't peel oranges with knives. It's stupid. Bike she was riding was kicked, scraped her knee. This woman is really injury prone. Oh boy. Anyways, with the divine titties on my screen, but not on yours, we shall begin with reading Broken Fangs. It is again written by Cyanide Sins. Please. The last one? Oh, Lord. Grandma's earrings stuck in vacuum tore her earlobe. Jesus. Oh, Lord. Oh, no. Well, that's on the screen now. It's not on the screen anymore. Anyways, we shall begin the reading. Summary. Yang and Blake meet with Camellia Arc. Blake learns not much. Yang wakes her master up in a sexy way. Oh, wait, in the sexy way, as if there's one specific. Oh, and Saffron's desire overflows, and she fucks her brother, most likely. Fuck's sake. Another update. Wait. Another update. Thanks for the commentary on what makes it fun. Honestly, most of the stuff that Blake goes through as planned ahead, so some lucky guesses might have been just that. Good imagination, though. I wouldn't know of. Oh, Jesus, lol. I thought the Danes are supposed to have good internet. Weird, because Discord doesn't do it to me, but whatever. Blake woke up in the morning, sore and tired. She remembered that trip that she'd been on, the after effects of it making her mind sluggish and weird. She could feel a dry mouth, her tongue scraping over her teeth. Oh, could I stream this? It is streaming. Or it's saying that I'm streaming. Let me check my fucking live thing. Don't mind the coins falling. I need to adjust my monitor that's turned to the side. Um, no, it's saying that I'm streaming on YouTube, so I can start. I can share my screen on Discord as well. Yeah. There we go. That should be the right one. That is the right one, I believe. Yeah, I have it set to like a minute. Yeah, it's not great. Avec black. The dear Funness spoke, her eyes looking with what might be sympathy or just emotional feelings, the collar around her neck chained to the wall. Just as she was, Blake let her gaze drop down to Yang's body, which was still clothed within the clothes of the owners who owned the... Ah! Fuck's sake, you don't have to overcomplicate the sentence so much. Yesterday's events had been a shock. She couldn't imagine that her people would not want to revolt. The image of those massive cocks frightened her, even though it had been a callous dismissal from the man who'd sent them in to deal with them. If not for the dear Faunus, she wouldn't have made it out of that without being seriously in pain. Yeah, thanks for... She recalled the feeling of the young human's cock inside her, a gush of heat going through her loins at the memory. She felt embarrassment shoot through her, knowing that it had felt good. Thanks for the save. And the blonde looked at her expectantly. You've got a plan, right? The question came from her lips as she could smell the scent of the rapist's cum in the air, the seed having leaked out of her. The blonde nodded, her gaze serious. Just follow me for a bit. Get amused to you. Don't act out, but keep the commentary on. Blake felt clearer in her mind, her legs rubbing together as she felt the urge to comment rise up inside her. Why not break his neck? We can strike a blow against the humans by killing the sun. The glare that she received in return was enough to make her shiver, the purplish lilac eyes looking clearly at her with a gaze that said, no, in no uncertain terms. Because that will probably be enough to get the Faunus hunted down. The very important family, Black. The nickname seemed to have stuck with the blonde dear Faunus, but Blake didn't mind it too much. Yeah, because she's a black girl. Yeah, because no fucking explanation. Because we have to change things, because Blake is actually a good person, even though she's terrible in every single way, shape, and form. No, I think she'd get more. Because it'd have all the people defending her. Since she's a white cat girl, it's gonna be like, oh, well, it's fine to criticize her, but if you criticize a black cat girl, you're racist. You're just doing it because you just don't like black characters. Exactly. Jesus. Jesus. You know, the irony is that fucking Faunus are supposed to be an allegory for black people. And somehow... Oh, you didn't know? Okay, so the Faunus are supposed to be an allegory for black people in in Ruby. Well, non-whites, basically. So, all the fucking faunists are treated how they view black people are treated. Well, ironically, it's pretty damn nice, considering. Yeah, like you just. Listen, the sign says no faunus. You have to get the fuck out, okay? You fucking animal. Like, excuse me. Oh, it's the headmaster. Welcome. There's just a fucking faunus behind the counter too. It's all faunus in there, and they're like, "Hey man, you gotta follow the rules." But everybody in here's a faunus. Well, you know, but you still. Fuck you, Furnace. So what you're going to do is you have to continue being your moody and broody self. She wanted to protest, but she saw the woman continue. I'll ease into his better graces, and then we can make it look like you're having a change of heart, a change of mind. That would work, she supposed. Adam had been the visionary. He had made the speeches and gotten the people to his side. Sienna had been militaristic, yet Adam had wooed the crowd. She felt a sting on her back, reminding of the words that had been carved into her flesh. They reminded her of yesterday's happenings. The master had ordered her to be given some cream against the itching and prickling of the wounds. That's not how scabs work. I've had some. He's a biology expert far beyond me to criticize. Fuck. Holy shit. Hey! I'm also white. It's hey, I'm blonde, okay? It's okay. I look like I'm human, okay? It's why I can blend into the skinhead crowds. Oh. Yeah, that is how I will do it. Yeah. Oh, the people in Broken Fang might as well be Nazis. Oh. Oh no, Papa Boner at the Animal Girls. Oh no, now I agree with them. Oh, the poor fucking viewers. The poor viewers seeing this afterwards, they're gonna be so fucking confused. Oh, it's gonna be wonderful. Okay, so she tried, the blonde giving her a tired look. Do I just go to him? The urge to throw up at the thought of submissively trapezing towards him and acting like she was some pet grew as she looked at the blonde. Yang was a wise girl, she supposed. She had a plan. The fires of revulsion might burn inside her, their fancy for the young men aside. What? What? Whatever. I will be made to give the us in the afterlife when we are done with them.
Wait. I will be made to give the earth to the afterlife when we are done with them. The words of Adam arose as she remembered the speech that he had made the day before they had captured her. She had been initiated as a full member a week before, the brand on her flesh still standing out even now. The white fang had been her life before she had been captured by those raping Philistines. The door opened and someone entered, a short, blonde woman wearing a deep navy blue dress, a riding crop in her hands. Blake watched a set of high boots move below the dress, the woman's eyes meeting hers.
You're the little faunus... Wait. You're the little faunus queen, aren't you?
The moniker made her flinch, which immediately clued the woman in to who she was. The riding crop pushed her head up as she looked into a face that looked much the same as that gay sister of the rapist bastard, though the eyes were hardened and cold.
No words about revolution, little kitten.
The boot slammed right into her guts, hitting her hard and making her twitch. Another kick.
No words about my sister being a homosexual.
Blake wanted to say something, yet the boot kicked once more.
Oh, I can't hear you, little animal. Ah!
The only sound that she could get out of her.
What's that? Another kick? Oh, I'll entertain you.
Blake's face rocked back as the riding crop smacked against it, a red welt on her cheek, the next kick hitting her in the ribs. Blossoming pain rattled her as she was restrained by the collar.
How does that feel, huh?
She felt blood fill her mouth, knowing that she'd bitten down on her cheek.
Doesn't feel so fucking good, does it?
A hand grabbed her by her ears, jerking her head up to look at her.
Blondie there knows what's going down. She's passable, according to my sister Juniper. But you look like you've got a few kinks in your system.
Blake felt a shudder pass over her form, her eyes looking down, not meeting the woman's eyes. This rapist was going to hurt her, but she wouldn't give in.
Don't you dare look away, you animal!
Another kick as she felt the grip on her ears increase.
Oh, I can see why he would want you. You're a pretty one, just like the blondie there. But you won't learn.
A smile on the woman's face as those eyes spelled death and horridness for her. The woman's body moving forwards.
You're not going to learn. You're not going to know. And of course, everything will be for your revolution, won't it?
She wanted to say something, yet she knew that it would only incense the woman. Her body felt cool as she looked into those eyes.
That's not how injuries work. Do you really think the tiger is going to save you, little kitten?
Her eyes widened, the cold blue eyes peering into hers.
Throw such hopes away. You will never rise above your station, Faunus.
The woman's eyes were unflinching as they bored into hers.
You speak as if you know the woman.
She wasn't going to talk to a human about such a thing. That would be... Wait.
You speak as if you know the woman.
She wasn't going to talk to a human about such a thing. That would be betraying everything that she stood for. She gave a defiant look with a low cackle coming from the woman's mouth.
Oh, such angry eyes. You've got me quivering in fear, oh queen of the Faunus.
The words of the woman mocked as she felt like railing against the chains that bound her.
I would buy her if she were ever to be sold. What better way to break your spirit than to have my brother fuck the great tiger right where you can watch it, right where you can hear her moan. Oh, and she will.
A sick smile on the woman's face showed her perfectly straight teeth.
I've put in an application. and I'll have father grant it. It would be such a nice thing, right, Blake Belladonna?
Her name, not unknown to the people, was spoken with more knowledge than she'd expect from the woman.
Partner to Adam Taurus, son of Ava Taurus, granddaughter of Oxford Taurus, the Ox.
How? That was more information than she knew, the woman's smile broadening.
I always do my research on you mongrels, to best train them, to best educate them on what they should be like. No, I can safely say that I hate your kind. You are a blight on this world, and it will be my task to see you all properly accommodated.
The hand that seized her collar was marked with scars, the woman's face closer to her.
And I will look forward to seeing you break, girl. We can't have another revolution in our days. No, the Kingdom of Vale pays me entirely too much to ensure that your kind are more amenable.
The tongue slid over lips that were coarse and rough, entirely too dry, as eyes roved over her form.
We'll have you moaning for my brother's cock like a good little slave you are. Ah! The answer is yes. Look, it's just a bunch of Ted Bundys fucking Ted Bundys, okay? Consent is a second thought to them.
A demeaning pat to the head as the woman brushed a finger under her chin.
Because that's all you're going to be good for. Just a hole for his cock. Bondi? She can be something.
A glance to Yang as the woman turned her gaze to Blake's face.
And, well...
The sickening smile on the woman's lips was like a dark tide.
You're going to be taking good care of my brother, little kitty.
The woman got to her full, arguably not so impressive as her sister's, height, looking at her.
Juniper will be watching, and...
The woman's gaze was strict and merciless.
Don't mention I was here to my little brother. He'd want to know why I didn't come to visit for a week. He's sensitive like that.
She snarled, her patience snapping with this woman.
Your brother is the weakest as a horse sack, the raping lot. Why he wasn't smothered in his crib is beyond me.
The woman's face turned slack, her mouth falling open. She could hear Yang's gasp, yet the anger...
What? She could hear Yang's gasp, yet the anger inside her. Period. What?
10 out of 10 would not read again.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Your mother? Wait.
Your mother should have tried harder for a real man, rather than sleeping with a faunus and producing such a weak ma. Her sentence cut off as her air was cut off. You don't have to tell me that. As her air was cut off, a hand grabbed her throat. As blue eyes glared into hers, her throat was feeling like it burned. He is a kind boy, better than most of us. You may be his first. Dawn was half panting, clearly angry beyond anything that she'd shown. But he can replace you. Oh, and I will make sure that he gets that little kitty. Oh, yay! When I get my hand...
It's one of the fucking leaders of the faunus. It's a bitch. Generals.
The 4 heavenly generals...
Basically, hereditary bullshit powers.
Anyways... When I get my hands on Khan, I'll train her until she can't go to the bathroom without permission. The insanity that she saw lurking within those eyes, that utter deep hate of what she was and what her fellow faunus brethren were, was enough. The woman's breathing was in deep, heavy pants. You will watch her be taken by my little brother, little kitten. Oh, I will make her plead for something better than your race to fill her. You were the mistake of the gods, and we are the cure.
Why dig your thumbs into them when you can dig your cock in? I just like hits the delete button over and over and over again, but it doesn't stop.
The lore is retarded and we need not discuss it here.
Anyways, does nobody have a fucking standing army? Yeah, you prevent war by getting rid of armies. Anyways, we should continue.
The angry words
The angry words and the near apoplectic, brutal rage in that face, coupled with the fact that she was blacking out, the hand gripping her throat, squeezing as that rage built up inside the woman, before her face went tranquil. Oh yes,
You'd need to be alive for that. The air made the blackness at the end of her vision slowly turn back, taking deep gasps, coughing and sputtering. Oh, I'm going to enjoy you, little kitten. I am expecting... I'm... Wait. I'm just gonna reread the whole fucking thing. Oh, I'm going to enjoy you, little kitten. I'm expected for the tea with Lady Rose and Mother. But if I can fit you in... The tongue that slid over the woman's lips was almost malicious in its gesture. She tried to bring the air back in her lungs, rattling a little as she tried to breathe. The woman's hand grabbed her by the hair, making her look up at her. I won't forget that, little kitten. But I'm going to give you a nice little necklace. The laugh that followed it was almost an endearment, though she was unsure how things were supposed to go. She didn't know what this psycho had in mind. And here I thought you might have some sense in your mind. My, your mother and father must be rolling in their graves. The woman's words stung as she remembered her mother and father, the pain that she felt lessening with every thought of them. Blake. The woman mocking... Wait. Ta-ta, Blake. The woman mocking goodbye was only halted with a look at the blonde dear fondness. And you. I've heard decent things about you from Juniper. Keep it up and perhaps you'll stick around after Fall marries into the family. I can't say much for dear old Faunus Queen over there, but loyalty is rewarded. A good mutt that works with the system may live the last days of her life in peace and happiness. The woman had said those words undoubtedly to punish her, though Yang's expression was a little more than acceptance. You had to get her riled up, didn't you? The accusation from the blonde was harsh as she coughed a little, the door slamming shut. She was speaking about the tiger. She has not the right. The words were natural. You always gave respect to the tiger and the ox. You gave respect to those who carried the blood of the founders, even if they did things you disagreed with. That was their inborn right. She has the right, Blake. She is our owner's older sister, and from what I can glean, she's pretty darn high up in the ranks of the Valian military. You don't get to wear boots of that fine leather without having some damn good leather available to you. The words rankled her. Okay. Rankle. Depends on how high of an officer she is. Because I know that depending on which position you're in, at least with the Canadian military, an officer position can be anywhere from 50K per year salary to, well, in the hundreds of thousands. True, but our military is also hilariously underfunded. I like how they have cents in there. That is a very good salary.
Uh, uh, so I'm interested now. What do they pay for a colonel here in Canada? Uh, so these are rates monthly. They get 12,000 monthly for basic pay, and then get pay increases. So at pay increase 3, they're getting $13,500 per month, and that's over a year. So I'm lazy and I'm going to just put this through calculator. 13, 12, 6, 7 multiplied by, so it's $159,000 or $159,204, and multiplied by, I think it's 0.77 for transfer to US dollars, so it's 122,000 US dollars about. Given that our economy is shit and they're all so underfunded, that doesn't surprise me. Yeah, basically. Yay for our... Yeah. Wait, why is my OBS...
like water bills, all those other stuff, all that's paid for. So that's all basically expendable income. None of that except for taxes.
Oh yeah, there's a ton of expendable income.
But she is not wealthy by herself because of her position in the military.
No, it's her family.
No,
yeah,
she probably only even has the fucking position because of her family connections.
Pretty much.
Yeah, because if she was just like a normal officer without the fucking nobility title thing, at most she would have like a sizable house. That's it, and a good car.
Anyways, we should continue on now that I've fixed my boomer audio. I boomered up the fucking audio again.
Okay, if you keep doing that, you're gonna have to fucking make you drink fucking Monster Energy Zero Ultra.
Hey, I already do.
Wow, you are.
I'm a Zoomer boomer. So what I fucked up was it wasn't using the right output device for detecting audio, because my headphones were not working properly this morning. I guess OBS didn't detect it or for some reason, but whatever. So it boomered up. Anyways, continuing on. The words rankled her. She was a free funness. She was owned by nobody. That's literally not true.
No, it's in her mind, brah. In her mind, she's a free funness. They deserve to be free.
When Adam comes for me, I will tell him to leave you here to rot. You are no true believer in the fall and our destiny. The blonde looked at her with a look of disgust. Quit that noise, little kitty. You know... The blonde faunus rose, rolling her shoulders. Because you act like this hot-shot revolutionary who can't keep her trap shut, other people suffer. There'll be a next time when they take you, Black. There'll be a time when you'll feel some big-cocked bastard rape that tight little ass of yours. And you know how it'd feel to have the master with his cock ram it in that shitter of yours, while some bastard who's kept his cock in prime condition to seed you. She would bear Faunus babies gladly. For the revolution, no sacrifice was too great.
literal jihadi. I will bear suicide bombers for you, daddy.
She's a literal fucking jihadi.
Yep, and that won't change for approximately, what are we on, chapter 9? Yeah,
God,
45 chapters?
it's so fucking hilarious too. She's literally ISIS wife.
Pretty much.
Girls like this need to be forced to race mix. I'm just gonna leave that there as I finish my drink.
Alright.
Also,
What did you
I
just
just
say?
I just
I
have
s-
to fucking ask for the logic of that as well. Okay, so John Ark's family are nobles, right? He's the
Mhm.
fucking sole heir because he's the only dude in the family other than the father, and I'm pretty sure the father like can't have kids anymore or something.
No, we can, bro. Again, that's, remember later on? Remember that plot hole later on?
Oh, for
Remember, bro?
fuck's sakes! Shut up,
He's
courier.
the heir because he's
Anyway,
the first male
uh,
son.
Yeah, and he's like essentially the firstborn male. So,
No, that's
given by
not
that
true either.
logic and how much they have for like the hatred for the faunus and stuff, right? Even half breeds. Wouldn't that be like a massive like a hit to their popularity or like anything
That-
if
Okay.
he actually knocked up Blake or fucking
That's
Yang
what
or
we've
some
been
shit?
saying for I
Okay,
don't
let
know
me-
how long
yeah.
now.
Yes.
me-
I just have to ask, what's the fucking logic of that too? Considering the fact that even his sister is on board with it, like you'd think that they would be like, yeah, it's probably not a good idea, you know? But like, apparently they don't give a shit.
Yeah, it's the fucking tone of this story early on is that they're like really fucking powerful, but at the same time they have to like watch what they do because they're not the government or whatever. And then later on, they literally can do whatever they fucking want, I guess, because they are Veil or something. Who fucking cares?
You see,
But Kitty, what were you talking about earlier? About
Oh.
race mixing?
oh yeah, girls like this need to be forced to race mix. And I'm just gonna let that hang there as I,
Okay, Mein Führer.
They will accept the superior white cock.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Literal.
I can
don't- I
imagine
don't-
that you were in a fucking list somewhere in Canada land. They're
Oh,
like,
yeah,
we gotta watch out for
100%.
this son of a bitch.
100%, man.
I agree with that sentiment when it comes to Blake. So yeah.
I just like the fact that the fucking Aborigine is just culturally, insensitively stealing our race. They must take the white cock. Bruh, you're an Aborigine. You might as well just be brown.
Look at me. I'm the white man now.
When you unironically look like fucking Utah white, the whitest state in the union.
Yeah, that's why I love it. It's like, I guess I am actually the heir of the Native Americans, yet I am as white as the Utahns. Anyway,
Mm.
our racism aside,
Delicious cherry cider.
you drink cherry?
I'm drinking Dead Horse cherry cider. Cherry hard
Interesting.
cider. It was made in my home province of Manitoba. It's good shit.
Home province.
Yes.
Interesting.
And continuing on. She would bear Faunus babies gladly. For the revolution, no sacrifice was too great. The blonde could see it on her face as she looked at her with a look of pity. Sister. Wait. Sister, there are times when one must be silent and quiet in order to glean the plans of the opponent. The words were not the blonde's own, but rather a famous saying from one of the great leaders of their kind. Blake wasn't sure whether it had been the ox who had spoken them or someone else. Obey and be kind, rather than the fire that burns in your belly, because it is what keeps you alive. The look in the blonde's eyes was sad, pitying her. She could see the revolution. She could feel the burning flame inside her, already stoked and primed and ready. That's two fucking ands. Like, no! Like, you could switch that and out for a semicolon, and it'd be...
Mwah. Beautiful.
This is Larry Kitty.
Oh, no.
Anyway.
I'm clicking over to the Discord.
Oh, shit.
The fuck was that?
I accidentally clicked on the wrong thing.
Nice. Oh, now you gotta read.
Enough. Stop with this neat shit. Get married and have kids right fucking now. You're not wrong.
Kitty, you concern me sometimes.
I should concern you at all times.
Kitty, how much have you been drinking?
I think I've had... I'd say 3 drinks so far tonight.
So you're pulling to me. Okay, cool.
No, I'm not inebriated at all. It's just my normal shitlord coming out.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Anyways, continuing on.
Just that those last 30 seconds just disappeared from me, mostly because of this shit Discord net.
Well, you didn't lose anything. Just
Fair
me
enough.
being a shitlord.
Can you stream your screen, or fucking stream, whatever, stream this screen again?
Oh, fuck, I have to do that. Yep.
Yeah, because you jumped into a different Discord, dumbass.
I'm a boomer, okay?
Boomer is
Thank
a
you.
state of mind.
Boomer is a state of mind. One, to defeat the boomer, one must become the boomer. Before boomerliness is godliness.
Oh.
Wait. Talk to the young master. Don't deny him if he wants to have sex with you.
The blonde offered as a suggestion, Blake's throat still aching as she looked at the blonde with questioning eyes. She didn't think that she should. That man had no right to her.
Except he literally legally does.
Hey, she doesn't care about their laws, don't you know?
She's a free funness.
The law matters insofar as her hunger for cock goes.
Yeah, you know, I was gonna say, I will say one thing, is that she's as much of a hypocrite in this as she is
Her
in the
hunger
actual
for
show.
cock.
I'm a free funness, and I will not to cock.
I will not succumb to cock.
Oh, just wait until she meets Adam. That's the best part.
Oh, that's a pretty good part, yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't she supposed to be like fucking engaged to him in this? Isn't that what they said?
No, not engaged.
It's basically it's basically what
No,
you
don't spoil it.
consider.
Don't spoil
Oh,
it.
okay. I
Don't
won't
spoil
spoil it.
Yeah, I don't want it spoiled.
Needless to say, her and Adam have an interesting relationship in this story.
Involved with rape. Lots of rape. Like everything else. Because consent is only optional if you're female.
Like literally, the fucking author of Alien Breed did way less rape than this fucking one does.
I'm impressed with the amount of rape, honestly. They put
It's
rape
no-
in
no-
where it wouldn't be necessary otherwise.
Well, I was gonna say
I'm-
Alien Breed has more rape. It just has less variety of rape. This has a wider variety of rape in it. So that's a sentence I said. Okay.
that just reminds me of that one time when you were reading this and I was out of the blue like, you know, it'd be cool living in the world of Banjo-Kazooie. That'd be cool. Just like anything to escape this horrible reality.
Far
And-
enough.
And please, think before you speak. You haven't met the lady of the house yet. If you thought the sisters were bad.
Blake supposed that the mother of the raping scum that she had produced to be one of those women who were just as bad.
The image of that woman, still faceless as she was, being thrown to those men who had tried to do things to her that shouldn't be done, by anything but lovers. And being used. I'm sorry, I just had to fucking process that statement for a little bit.
I mean, somebody can be your non-consensual lover.
Yeah, lover doesn't mean that you both agree to it.
Yeah. Mm.
I mean, just ask the number of men who've had condoms poked, or had holes poked into their condoms.
Golly
They
gee
will know.
willikers, Batman. I think that falls kind of flat considering the fact of what happens in her fucking culture.
Good point, Cap. Good point.
All right,
Good.
Kitty. Your addition of consent is optional if you're female has been added.
Fucking Kitty becomes the Barry of this world.
Look, he's not making the rules, just stating the obvious.
I don't make the rules, I just enforce them.
Damn.
Whatever you're thinking, quit it. You're so close to dropping through the ice, girl. And that's the only... Wait. You're so close to dropping through the ice, girl, that it's only because you've got a kind owner that you've been spared the death that's been waiting for you ever since you opened your mouth. The blonde probably made sense. Only probably?
Probably.
Yet Blake was angry. The tiger's honor had been besmirched, and she had known to be been known to be a friend of the ox. She was going to see whether there was an opportunity to strike back against the human rapist. One human dead was a win in her book, unless it fucking causes your entire species to be genocided, but, details.
Once again, we will get to that. We will get to that later. Trust me, we will get to
fun. Yay! Yay!
that. We will get to it. You know what I'm talking about, Cap, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Forgive her, for she knows not what she does. The words were tragic as the blonde spoke, sighing deeply. Yang could see the dome hanging above both their heads. She had seen those types of boots once before, when her father had been inspected upon entry to Vale. Boots like that only belonged to the people who worked for the council, for those people who had the lineage and the pedigree to make decisions. She'd eat her skirt if the woman wasn't someone who was in charge of Faunus affairs, and briefly considered that this might be the woman who was responsible for the making of Faunus Huntsman, someone who had mentioned that a great camellia had been with Lady Auburn, and if this was Camellia, then it would make sense why she had been seen around the house. A busy job maintaining the secrecy of the world. She was just a girl, though, so she didn't know much about things, but Dad had. Because Dad's a man, probably, right? Yeah.
A man knows what the truth is. A woman merely listens, according to Blake and this author.
A man chooses, a woman obeys.
Jesus! I like the casual sexism here, it's great.
Oh god, yeah. Only gets so much better.
He talked about things sometimes when he had a bit to drink and just wanted to vent. No matter how much you struggle, they know your name and your associates. Wait. No matter how much you struggle, they know your name and your associates. You've not been silent about knowing the ox and the tiger. Wait, what? That was in her voice. No matter how much you struggle, they know your name and your associates. You've not been silent about knowing the ox and the tiger. Her own...
Yeah, you'd think, like, basically her situation is akin to a fucking ISIS or Al-Qaeda agent. You wouldn't be in that situation blabbing where you know fucking Osama bin Laden or somebody else is that's up in the fucking higher echelons. How dumb is she? Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Like, I'm a revolutionary. Let me tell you about all the important revolutionary leaders I'm friends with while I'm captive.
Well, to be fair, I was gonna say to be fair, last chapter Yang did say that she was dumber than a fucking bag of bricks mixed with cement. So
Mhm.
Again, the problem with Blake's character as a whole is the fact that she should be a wealth of information, and she just doesn't speak up. When she arrived at Beacon, she could have just spread the information of where all the hideouts are. She was right next to the guy that's basically operating the entire thing in Vale, yet she never goes to the police about it, and she
Yep.
has to search it up on YouTube.
Fucking YouTube.
It's also it's also the fucking funniest thing too is she's still fucking being this openly defiant when she knows that's a bad idea. Like sometimes you just gotta fucking swallow your pride and keep your fucking head down and
Yeah, you
wait
think-
for the time to strike instead of openly defying them every single step of the way and making it worse on yourself and everyone around you. You're not making
Hey, you
friends.
can learn from that, Cap.
Yeah, you think-
Remember that one scene? Remember that one fucking scene in Full Metal Jacket when the fat guy, Private Pile, fucking had a jelly donut and then he was forced to eat it while everybody did fucking push-ups, and then later that night they dragged him out and beat him with socks with fucking soap in them. Yeah, that doesn't make you friends or allies when you do shit like that. Like
Well-
that's basic fucking sense.
Well, I was gonna say eventually you think that just fucking you think like the Pavlovian like fucking negative influence thing would fucking kick in, where every single time she opens her mouth, she gets the shit kicked out of her. So eventually, you think she would stop opening her mouth so she doesn't get the shit kicked out of her.
But
Like
she's
literally, hamsters, which have the fucking survival instincts of literal fucking turnips, are smart enough to realize that.
Yep.
she's dumber than a dog, and much, much, much dumber than a cat.
I was about to say, please don't insult house cats and house dogs like that, or just cats and dogs in general. They can be very smart.
Oh, they are very intelligent animals because they work with humans, so they have to adapt to what humans do.
Like how
And
cats
humans are
will,
very intelligent.
like how cats will intentionally open doors for dogs to get on people,
Yep.
or how cats can actually sit. They actually know what we're saying, but they don't care.
Or
I
like,
love
there's
cats.
also the fact that cats are intelligent enough to know that all they need to do with us is be cute, and we will love them no matter how much of an asshole they are.
Damn straight.
Meanwhile, Blake can't just nod and wave. That's all you need to do to get ahead in this universe.
Literally nod and spread your
no.
fucking legs. Nod and
That's all
spread your
you
legs.
need to do.
People like cat girls, brah. You fucking should get this shit easy. Come on, do it.
Literally just nod. Your entire appeal is that you have ears. You just need to go meow.
Meow meow.
And that's all people want.
Fuck me, yeah.
Yes, that's literally all she needs to do, but she keeps going on and on about Le Revolution.
Le revolution!
Vive la France!
Vive la revolution!
Bitch, please, just shut the fuck up and you'll do fine.
Vive les fanas!
Anyway,
Wait, I
let's
shouldn't insult the
continue.
Franks like this. The Franks are better than this.
Debatable.
Listen, I hate the
Quebec.
French, but I don't hate them this much.
Do you love Quebec?
Oh, I found the perfect image to illustrate Blake as a person. Fucking uploading it to VC posting. I think
Oh,
it
what
might
do
be
you mean?
relevant.
Oh, fucking Cap. Did you read the newer chapters when that one character dies?
No, I only read up to chapter 53.
Fuck. Shitballs.
Shit.
That's basically Blake as a character right now. Sure, I took one arrow to the face, but a few more won't kill me, right? Right?
Oh lord, it's a fucking samurai with an arrow sticking out of his head.
That just reminds me again of when you try to invade the fucking a very like powerful Mongol camp and they just fucking arrow juggle you to death.
That's what happens when you fucking jump into the middle of it. But anyways, I will continue going.
Oh no.
Oh no, he continues.
Her own pledge to make sure that this little kitten wouldn't get her killed was still intact. She had to speak to Lady Juniper the moment that she was freed to move around or when her master needed her.
She hoped that he would. The fluttering in her stomach was just too hard to ignore whenever he was around her. She knew that Blake would likely need some time to recover, yet there was enough to discuss with the young master. As the morning came, so did she. Continuing on. As morning came, so did the one who woke her. Tara, a woman who looked pleasant enough, her eyes almost fond as she gently shook her awake. Blake still unconscious. Good morning. Could you go to visit the young master and wake him up? She nodded softly, getting out of the small bathroom for their use. Or getting out into the small bathroom for their use. The water was cold, yet she minded it not, scrubbing her body, making sure that her hair and her antlers received some care. She briefly debated using some shampoo, yet she knew that she would have to wake the young man up. Can't let master be sleepy.
Also can't let him think you're a fucking disgusting animal. Come on.
Yeah.
You want to look good for your boy toy, right?
You think so?
Her tongue licked over her lips. She had ideas for waking him up already. Sex was out of the question for a couple days, but there was plenty of other things that she could do for him.
Quote unquote couple days, more like fucking 3 weeks, okay.
Apparently. Wasn't it supposed to be like 2 weeks at the longest?
It was supposed to be 2 weeks. The way this fucking goddamn fanfic is structured, though, it feels like 17 years. So.
Every day seems to last fucking
I am
forever.
literally tempted to join this fucking author's Discord server
Oh my
that
God.
fucking
Oh my God,
Courier
please do.
hunted up, just to fucking be like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
No. Fucking. Okay. Do it.
I'll get your fucking Kitty's channels fucking struck, copyright struck.
No. They can't do that. It's transformative. It technically counts as transformative.
Yeah, because mostly we're interspersing all of this shit with our own personal input.
Yeah,
Just questioning how much of a fucking retard this author is.
And also, could you see the hypocrisy in somebody fucking giving a copyright strike for somebody who's creating like fucking fan fiction of another series?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that would not go
Yeah.
well for them.
No.
And the fact that we're transforming it by telling him how fucking shit it is and like
Stupid it is.
improving the story as much as possible. Like
Or
Lal
quote,
always says, Captain, you're thinking of a better story. Quit it.
Yeah,
I'm
like if you want, feel free to go in and say that we're doing a little thing about it. Controversy never hurts, right?
I'd have to fucking make a burner account on Discord for that shit because I'm pretty sure that that person's friends with the Discord mod so that they can rape all the children. This person's probably a fucking Epstein Island frequent flyer.
Jesus, man, I don't think that's quite the case.
No. Also, we know what to do now.
Just wait until we see the one scene. You know the scene I'm thinking of, Mad Courier? The one scene that was horrible, so much so that the author themselves put a fucking disclaimer in the start.
Wait, what? Oh, wait. Oh.
Oh no.
Oh, that
Exactly.
scene.
Exactly.
I am already starting to dread it now that I'm hearing your fucking reactions to just hearing it be mentioned. So
Oh,
don't tell
no.
me anymore, because I don't want to know when it's coming.
I know. We're just making sure that you know that there's a disclaimer in the start of the fucking page. That's how bad it is.
Imagine writing all
it's
this
basically-
degenerate
it's
shit
basic-
and then having a fucking disclaimer.
Oh, it's bad. It's basically like the equivalent of Modern Warfare 2 having a like skip level thing for no Russian. It's essentially that. It's so fucked up that they're basically like, you should probably skip this one.
No, Russian isn't so bad when you can go through the literal entire level without killing anyone, so people just
It's-
bitch for the
it's-
sake of bitching.
It's more of the fact that you're watching people, like innocent civilians, get gunned down. That's what they're talking about.
What, you don't like role-playing as a mass shooter? Come on. What are you, a pussy?
If they were Faunus, I'd be happy.
No, you want to mass shoot at them with your fucking dick. Yeah.
A dick and a machine gun at the same time, so.
Aren't
One
those
in
the
each
same
hand.
thing?
One in each hand, if you know what I'm saying.
Kitty, you know that animal pen fetish some people have? That's why I imagine Curry is like in a world with fondest cat girls. That's his one goal is just having a giant pen just full of fondest cat girls.
Just cat girls that behave like a Blake, because I like cat girls, right? I'm fucking I like them or whatever. I just don't like cat girls who behave like Blake, and surprisingly, there's a lot of them out there who do that. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna take
God
this
damn,
moment to
why are there
say.
so many animal girls that act like hotties these days?
I'm just
I
gonna
don't know.
say, cat girls are not the greatest of the animal girls. That award goes to fox girls.
Yeah, we all know that you
I'll
want to
half
fuck.
agree
We
with
all
you on
know
that.
that you want to fuck Holo. We already know that.
Holo's a wolf girl.
Wolf, fox, basically same thing.
No,
One smaller than the other.
no.
Volpine versus Lupine. They both end in peen.
Is it Vulpus and Quote?
I want the big fluffy tails. The massive
Yeah.
fluffy tails. The fluffiest of fluffy tails.
I mean, Raftalia has
But
a
here-
big fluffy tail.
But here we know that you're all a bunch of fucking idiots because we all know best girls are the reptile girls, fucking dragon waifus and shit. They'll
No.
fucking literally incinerate your
No.
exes.
No,
No.
Yes,
no.
dragon waifus. They
No.
come with their own treasure hoards. You'll be rich.
So are you saying, I was going to say Yang is a dragon in this story. Spoiler,
No.
nobody cares. Are you saying she's a waifu? Please. No.
No,
Okay, thank
not
Christ.
her.
Thank
I will
Christ.
DM you what I consider a dragon waifu.
Okay.
See, Cap, we know that what you really consider a waifu to be is any woman over 40.
Any woman over
Is
40
Callie
that's
over
already
40?
been used.
I thought she was in her late 30s or mid 30s.
She might as well be in her 40s.
Yeah, see, Blake is like 18
17.
years old.
17.
Yeah, she's 17.
At the beginning
yeah,
of the series.
Yeah. So
So
she's
35.
like nearing 40.
Nearing 40. Not reaching it, though. Nearing it.
Anyways, let's continue on before we get into a long, drawn-out conversation about waifus
About
and
why we
milfs.
should rape the animals.
But why we should rape the animals? Fuck lol. What the hell? Oh,
Hey, they are animals, so it counts.
I mean,
Can't disagree, Kitty. They're
As
filthy animals.
As she pulled the clothing on, including getting the shirt past her antlers, which was a little rough task, but serviceable, given that she didn't have a buck's antlers, rather more elegant ones akin to the set of claws that her great-great-grandfather once held.
what?
Yeah, she, here's another thing, because she's a dragon faunus or whatever, and they're like the ruling class. The reason the author explains the fact that the faunus only have one trait is because anybody born with like more than one animal trait was seen as like an aberration or whatever, and they were basically like murdered as, a baby or infant or whatever, except for the ruling like dragon class who have antlers. They have claws, and then they have, like, I think fangs or something like that, so they have three
Why
traits.
Does rabbits have antlers?
And what's his face? Her father had a tail as well.
And her father had a tail. Yeah,
That's fucking retarded.
it is.
It
what
Why
it
do
is.
the dragons have antlers?
Because
I think they're horns, not antlers.
no,
Yeah,
no,
'cause
no,
why
they
do
have
they
Call them
Fucking-
antlers.
no,
it's the
they.
I don't
fucking
know why
Asian-
they're calling them antlers then.
It's fucking
Because-
Asian
Fucking
dragons.
Asian lung dragon,
Yeah,
dude.
because she's pretending to be a fucking deer or whatever.
It's the Asian lung dragon. They're the ones that have fucking antlers for some reason.
Alright, fuck the Asian dragons then.
Asian dragons aren't real dragons. Thank you very much. White dragons, best
Yeah.
dragons.
Yes, we all know that you're racist against dragon.
Oh yes, very.
Absolutely, fuck dragons.
Let's keep going, because I'm getting really tired of stopping the story every 3 seconds to explain something that doesn't make sense.
I'm
Or
not.
doesn't
something
need to
else
be
that doesn't
fucking
make sense.
explained.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's continue on.
Sorry, the author will explain it all in time. They just do such a poor job of explaining it. I feel like I have to explain it. So,
At that point, is it really being explained?
no.
she slid her feet onto the heels,
Enjoying the feeling of the soul. That's not how fucking heels feel.
That's
Straightening,
not how heels feel.
straightening out and glancing into the mirror.
She watched her poise for a moment before giving a wink to her own reflection, striding confidently out of the bathroom. She caught sight of Juniper Ark standing in front of the master's bedroom, her weapon in her hands, her eyes fierce and deliberately looking at her. She caught a look that might be somewhat begrudging, mixed with the respect that seemed to be within those eyes, was given as she stepped aside.
You're swift, Faunus.
It was a compliment, she guessed. She looked at the woman for a moment before nodding.
I will not let Blake ruin my master's life. Can we talk privately, Mistress Juniper?
The blink and narrowing of the eyes was a sign as Juniper opened the door for her. The smell of her owner came to her nostrils, and her pussy had a minor leakage.
She pissed herself.
The smell of Blake and her own still mingled in the room after the last night's effects.
Fine. It better be important. Wait. Fine. It better be important.
There was no argument there. Yang knew that Blake would be a liability with enough of that fire in her. The cat was influenced, undoubtedly, thinking that it would be right to revolt against their betters. She walked to the bed with light steps, catching the sheets with sheets half thrown off, a pale expanse of flesh already there as she pulled them off. Her eyes closed as she inhaled his scent. He hadn't taken a bath yet, so he smelled of sex. Her mouth watered as she placed a gentle kiss on his stomach, feeling how the hot flesh below pulsed lightly under the kiss.
Yeah, good.
The click of a rifle urged her onward, her fingers sliding over the bed.
I just have to process the fact that she's got a gun against her head, basically.
Pretty much.
Hey, we trust you a little bit, but I'm gonna have my gun against your head anyways. It's like...
'Cause that makes sense.
Wait, you don't put a gun to your slave's head?
No, I put my dick to their mouth.
I mean, fair enough, but still. Principles, man, principles. You gotta keep reminding them what happens if they, step out of line.
Yeah, you remind them by
keep your
denying
bitches
them
in line.
access to the dick once they do.
You gotta keep your bitches in line.
Exactly. Anyways, continuing on.
That was the first fucking lesson of a pimp named Slickback. You gotta keep your bitches in line.
Anyways, continuing on.
Glad somebody knows that.
The smell of her owner made her blank out. This heady smell enough, her tongue already dripping saliva onto his pubic area.
Yeah, show me.
It was a
Please,
little...
for the love of God, fucking stop that.
What's wrong? Getting a little bit of a stiffy.
No, it's
That's
fucking
the exact
horrifying.
opposite. It's the exact opposite of a stiffy. I think the dick might actually fall off.
Dude,
Awesome
literally,
reason
if-
to do it.
If
Yeah.
I was with my girlfriend and she was like, "Hey, honey, come to bed. I'm feeling frisky," I would just have to take my fucking headset off and be like, "Not tonight, dear. I think I'm never gonna be able to get it up again."
I'm feeling frisky.
Bruh.
Bruh.
Women, ladies out there, if you're listening to this, if you ever don't want your guy to be in the mood, just fucking read this to them or make an audiobook of it or something.
Yes, just take my fucking
Kitty-
recording
Kitty is
and play
literally-
it.
Yeah, Kitty is literally the antithesis of sexy. He's
It's what
basically
I'm trying to
anti-sexy.
be.
Anti-sex.
It was a little trick, one that she rarely used. Her tongue slid out, brushing over the foreskin and covered head.
I guess he wasn't circumcised. Okay.
The Jews didn't steal it yet.
Man, I wish I was circumcised.
Oh, fuck. Casual racism aside, let's continue.
Lifting that cock up. Every inhale sent powerful, manly scent invading her nostrils, her eyes half closed as her lips pressed against the sensitive flesh. She looked up, the sleeping face of her owner like it belonged there. How is this nigga still sleeping?
fucking know.
Does he get his dick sucked every morning?
Maybe.
Yes.
It's a very
Probably.
real possibility.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, and there's a very, very high possibility it's his sister's doing it too.
Yeah, fair enough. It was... Wait, I read that already. Yeah. Dream away, little master. The image of herself in those dreams as he stiffened under her tongue's battering, a soft coming from her lips, her hot breath tickling through his pubic hair. He stood up, and her lips wrapped around the head, her hands gently stroking those thighs of his. It was entirely too soft, but he was in need of a good wake-up. Her lips slid down slowly as her tongue coiled around her master's hard spire of flesh, the smell filling her nostrils. Her cunt was leaking, the smell dampened through her own control and the cloth underwear she wore. You can't control smells through willpower, you stupid whore.
Yes. Surely you can. This fanfic told me so.
Fanfic told me so.
She was a woman, she craved ... things. Her body felt like it was on fire as her lips met his base and her gaze went up. Sleep in the sleep of the angels, my master.
Can you imagine what a gynecologist would think of if you showed him this?
He'd probably shoot himself, honestly.
Probably. I would do the same thing, so I can understand.
To be fair, same.
Same thing.
Her head slid up, a labor of love and lust as she felt her cunt leak more, her nostrils gusting needy little exhales out and in. She looked up at his face still, her head bobbing fiercely down once more, tongue wriggling around that hard shaft. Come
I'm
on,
sorry.
my-
Did you say she looked up at her face more?
Mhm. She looked up at
Say-
his face.
Oh, okay. I thought you said her face.
Might as well just be a chick.
Yeah.
How masculine this man is.
His dick's
We're going-
probably about the size of a clit anyways.
We're going full Funtari, yeah.
Futanari.
You're gonna say it will become in footer.
Oh, yeah.
It's just
At
like
least
That
classic-
just means that Cap will enjoy it
It's
even
just like
more.
It's just like the classic thing, man. Her clit.
Oh
dick
no.
hardened.
Fucking Cap, please tell me you're not a fan of food as shit.
Yeah, he is.
One of the fucking things that I have is the full DVD box set for fucking Bible Black, both the English and Japanese versions.
Cap, you disappoint me, man.
Cap is the kind of person
Listen.
who would read who would watch Futabu, unironically.
Cap, you
Fut-
disappoint me, man.
Futanari is just... Futanari on females just straight porn with extra steps.
Yeah, that was actually one of the fucking funniest things in the Ishuku reviewers abridged thing. It's like, it's a lot more hetero than fucking a dude fucking a woman because at least it's a fucking chick's ass that you're looking at instead of a dude's ass.
And they, oh yeah.
Oh, baby. And you don't hear some random guy saying, "Oh, baby,"
I've
as his
lost some,
balls slap against her ass.
I've lost some serious respect to all of you.
Oh come on,
Hey,
Carter. You know,
I was
you know,
just-
you and I are best friends because
I was
of our
just
fucking
speaking the
mutual
truth.
At least when it not, I was gonna say mutual likes, maybe not for fucking Funtari. Gonna have to fucking
I'm-
disagree with you on that.
I'm gonna say
Hey,
that I
you
do
have
not-
the right to your own opinion, and I will respect that. I don't give that.
You
same
have the
respect
right to
Kitty.
your wrong opinion.
I'm just gonna point out that futa shit is not my thing. It is Cap's thing.
Same.
That is all.
Okay, well, at least I have some respect for you too. Still, okay, that's good.
Hey, I am
Sadly.
still a fucking man of culture as well.
Oh, so you like lollies too, eh?
No,
Culture at last.
that's your thing, Kitty.
Wanting
Yeah,
to head
that's
pat them
Joe.
is different from wanting to pat their fucking wombs with my dick.
Yeah, for now.
Anyways, let's continue on.
Before the cops break down Kitty's door.
Ooh, woo. They want a good
Hey,
time,
this
eh?
is the RCMP, eh? We're taking you in. Get on the move.
Actually, it's interesting. Abolish the RCMP was trending on Twitter the other day. And it's like, this is the first time abolish the police movement is something that I actually agree with.
Yeah.
Like, fuck the RCMP. Fuck the feds in general. Anyways, continuing on.
Fuck off, Louise.
Yeah, fuck off, Louis. You're not gonna take me away. Continuing on. Her head slid up, a labor of love and lust as she felt her cunt leak more, her nostrils gusting at the needy little exhales in and out. She looked up at his face still, her head throbbing fiercely down once more. Her head bobbing, sorry, not throbbing, fiercely down once more, tongue wriggling around the heart shaft. Come on, master. Dream of me. Dream of my lips and your cock and come for me. Fuck, it hurts to say. Ugh. This is the person who's never screwed somebody trying to come up with pillow talk.
I was gonna say, you know what's really weird is like you read enough like shitty smut fanfics, you can start to tell like the difference between if it's a girl or a guy writing it, because you fucking
and you can tell if they've actually fucked.
If they've actually had sex or not, yeah, because you fucking if it's a guy writing it, you read it, and then when it's talking from the guy or whatever, they're going over every detail of the girl that makes them like fucking horny or whatever. Then it switches to the girl's perspective, and the girls are like, abs,
Cock.
the arms, the cock, and the eyes. Yeah, that's it. Nothing else. I'm like, okay.
Meanwhile,
It just
Ben
goes to
is
show
like,
that women
the
are fucking
lips,
shallow.
the thighs, the feet. And at that point, you just drop
Oh
the
my
book.
god,
You
the
got,
fucking foot niggas.
yeah.
Feet.
The thighs, the hips, the arms, the face, the eyes, the fucking nose, the ears. It's like fucking everything, and then you switch
Her
over to the girl's
massive
perspective.
12-inch dick if you're cat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I
his
wasn't even paying
eyes, the
attention.
lips,
I wasn't even paying attention to what the fuck he said. What did he say?
Her massive
the
12-inch
eyes,
dick.
the eyes, the lips, the feet, the 12-inch foot of dick.
Jesus Christ.
Ah, fucking beautiful. It was a throbbing pain that she knew well. That slow rub around the sensitive rim around the head of the shaft usually did it. And with him, it was no different. A gasp and those eyes flew open, looking
God, you sounded
into
like
hers.
Marge Simpson when you did it like that.
A gasp and those eyes flew open, looking into her own, as her taste buds were coated wet with his sperm, a cloying thick mess that was all hers.
I
Your
just
sperm's-
think it kind
You
of
gotta,
neat.
you gotta
If
do
your
that. You
sperm's
gotta,
that thick, you need to see a doctor immediately.
No, it
you
just means he
gotta
has a
also do
zinc
the
deficiency.
thing that fucking Marge always does when she's pissed off.
Yeah, that's it, master.
Jesus
Treat
fucking
you-
Christ, stop that right
Treat your little spunk dragon with all that she deserves. A big
Wait,
load
wait,
of
did
your
she just
hot
say-
cum.
Spunk dragon, yeah.
Okay, no, I'm saying
dragon.
who said that? Was
Yeah,
it her in her
yeah.
internal monologue? Okay.
Yes.
I was about to say, how the fuck does she know that she's a dragon yet?
He's a
No,
little
I was
spunk
gonna say she.
dragon.
No, she does know that she's a dragon. She just masquerades as a fucking deer.
Yeah, I'm saying, like, I was fucking confused for a second there, and I was trying to remember. Wait, does the fucking chick with the rifle who's always ready to shoot
Oh,
people,
yeah,
like,
no.
right next to her fucking little brother's, like, dick? Like, literally fucking exploding a rifle right next to it? And I was like, how the fuck does she remember that fucking Blake's a dragon? Like, when did she ever fucking figure that out?
Yeah, no. The only person who knows that Yang is a dragon at this point is Yang. So.
The only one that
no,
knows that
Wait, no,
water
no.
is
What
wet
about
is water.
what about the albino crocodile?
She doesn't know that she's a dragon at this point yet. She
Oh.
doesn't find out until like fucking 30 chapters later.
Oh, okay.
I'm just
I
gonna
got the
point
lore
out.
memorized.
I'm just gonna point out that she called herself a fucking spunk dragon.
Yeah.
It's like calling yourself a cum goblin.
You
She
would know.
is the cock goblin.
She wasn't afraid to feel like this. He... The funny feeling in her stomach started again.
Yeah, that's called digesting semen. As he patted her head. Yang! Hey!
Christ.
Finger guns. I can just imagine he just wakes up fully awake and like not groggy at all and just gives her the finger guns.
I'm just imagining, like, he wakes up, you just see her just go smack lips. Hey,
Oh,
Yeah.
hey!
What's going on? Yeah.
wakes up, she just pulls up from his sheets, just smacks lips, hey, and then he's like, finger guns, hey.
Nice.
I approve.
Oh, boy.
I'm Jean Arc, and I approve this blowjob.
She pulled her head off his shaft, opening her mouth and showing her prize. She looked at him before waiting for his orders.
Swallow A, I guess. Unless you want to spit it out. I'm not sure where the tissues are. The order was given and she swallowed. She would have swallowed anyways. That's what you do when you are, well, when you have that tingly feeling inside you. What?
No, I'm sure there's plenty of wives who are fucking have been married for 30 years and they're still like, no. Ain't swallowing that.
She wanted to ride him, to hear him moan her name, to see him gasp and blush and stammer. That was... Whoa! Wait, I have to do it properly. That was... Whoa!
Jesus fucking Christ.
I want to die.
Half the time it's fucking great, but other than half the time it's like fucking cringe to the ultimate. But like that fucking part, you have to admit that was actually pretty fucking funny with the fucking finger gun click.
Well, yeah, but that's Kitty doing that. So
He
Yeah,
sounded...
but that makes it amusing as hell. But it's
sounded-
also cringe as fuck at the same time.
He sounded amazed with her skills. She didn't feel so amazing about her own skills, yet she knew well that there was something going on with her because she was just... Whoa! She definitely had some stomach bug because she just felt like she floated. He master needs to be awake.
The words were softly spoken, as she knew many humans liked. His hand brushed through her hair, and her eyes teared up a little. Her tongue slid over his flaccid cock, her nose bumping against it.
I'm here to care for you, Master Jean.
The words were servile, yet they felt alright. As his hands stroked between her antlers, she felt the burning in her loins, the bumping of her heart. It made the kitty sink to the back of her mind, as she gave a sound in the back of her throat, knowing that she was safe. She liked to be safe. Her body pushed up, nearly nose to nose with him. Her eyes met his, her own searching in those, his hand stopping in the spot where her antlers were growing from her scalp. His arms wrapped around her, and she was pulled close, smelling him. She might have just leaked a little onto the bed, as she shuddered, his arm adjusting her a little. Master?
Also, what's with the fucking constant smelling, dude? Is this chick Joe Biden or what the fuck?
Is this
Yeah.
chick Joe Biden?
welcome, we're faunists. We have better senses of smell or some shit. I don't
That
fucking
means
know.
smelling people is the most important thing that they do during sex.
I guess so. Fucking, I don't know.
Yeah,
Fucking dog
master.
fauna shows up and starts sniffing asses.
Don't think about that. You'll have an anal fetish. Master.
Her voice was odd and trembled as she felt his hand grab her rump. She wanted him to hit her ass, to feel him admonish her for being an eager, lewd maid. She was so needy.
God
She wanted
fucking
him
damn
to...
it.
Thank you, Yang. You're a good girl.
Wait, add a click to that. Add a click.
No.
He's only doing that on ellipses. So.
Yep.
Oh god damn it, that would have fucking fit so well.
It would have been
You're
so
a good
good.
girl.
You're a good girl.
Exactly.
She might have just blanked out a little, but her underwear was leaking. Her body twitched, and she nosed against his cheek, rubbing against him.
Also, I just have to point out too, that's not how fucking vaginas work either. If you're leaking that much, you're pissing yourself.
Yes, she's been pissing herself the entire time.
She could smell his scent. She wanted to have him on her, like a comforting hug, a warmth around her. Her tongue licked over his skin, tasting the sweat. Her moan was low and guttural as his hand palmed her rump.
Just say ass.
As the sound of me
Rump.
slowly dying inside, that's what that sound was.
Her
rump
firm.
rump is such an unappealing word during intimate intercourse. Why would you ever use that?
Because euphemisms.
Her firm buttocks were like a treat. She knew anal was tough on her ass, but it wasn't so bad to try once or twice.
Anal was tough on her.
She'd not have much of a choice, and with him here, I think you've got to get up soon, John.
Wait, I think you've got to get up soon, Jean.
Juniper Ark's voice cut through the haze as Yang realized that she'd started to lick his face, as if marking him with her scent. He had allowed her to do so as his hands grabbed her ass.
What was
There
I
you go.
doing?
She looked down at him and bit her lower lips. Kissing him whilst his sister watched, it was nearly irresistible to deny the urge, but she felt like it. A soft groan as her lips parted, coming closer. His eyes looked up into hers as he smiled.
Stop being so.
She had a stomach ache, perhaps the flu. It was just some sickness, right?
The fluid was.
The fluid
I have.
The fluid
Then I will be.
The
force you will
The force we must master. The voice we must learn.
Spock Dragon I am.
Bong Dragon I am. Fuck me, you will.
No, she's the Dovahkiin, but instead of absorbing dragon souls, she absorbs cum.
Dovahkiin, Dovahkiin. Nalexin los farin.
Dovahkiin, come up all inside me.
Oh boy. Let's take a walk outside together after I've had my breakfast. The simple smile made her stomach tremble as she gave a soft nod. Her stomach continued to ache.
Ja, Master Jean.
She should. Her lips came ever closer, parting, ready to give that kiss that she craved for. He looked nervous, almost a little anxious, but was it really that wrong to kiss her master?
Wait. The hand on her antlers, jerking her head back with a painful moment of realization, was enough to make her aware that there was an order to this. Sorry, I was a little distracted.
Would he love her like he would love his wife when he was married? When he married? Would he make her his, become her child's father?
No.
Absolutely not, you filthy slave.
You fucking
You're
animal.
at best a concubine.
Disgusting animal.
What the fuck? Did somebody leave?
No, I joined the transmission. Also, magical abortions.
Magic abortions.
Yeah, they can on this setting.
Whoosh, you are no longer pregnant.
Oh, they do it the old punch away.
The old-fashioned way they punch her in the stomach.
Just throw her down a flight of stairs.
Again, if they're not interested in her getting pregnant, they shouldn't give her to him. And to start, but again, this
Wow.
universe is fucking
No,
retarded.
Lau, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. The whole not being like having a faunus pregnant. We'll get to that. Don't worry, Sonny Jim. We'll get to that.
Oh no!
Let me guess, they have
Fetus,
super
fetus,
abortion
fetus,
pills or some
deletus.
shit.
They have super abortions. Plant.
Sorry, I didn't hear you over the sound of retardation. Lau, what was it?
They have
you said?
super. Let me guess. They have super abortions.
No, they don't have super abortions. The plot line just gets dropped entirely. So
It's
Oh.
magical abortions. Yeetus, weetus, fetus, deletus.
no, it's not even that. It's just apparently nobody gives a shit anymore at some point. So yeah, okay.
At some point,
I
they're
wish
like,
reality
nah, I don't
functioned
care.
like that when enough people just stop giving a shit. Certain aspects of reality just cease.
Just stop fucking happening. Yeah.
The flutters didn't stop. She felt the burning inside her stomach increase as Jean shook his head. She's earned a kiss, June. She's a good girl. She almost whined. Stop. This stomach ache hurts. Her antlers were released, and she kissed him gently, a peck against his lips. She was aware of the weapon that was aimed at the base of her skull, feeling it between
the
her
funny
hair.
thing-
Hold on. Everybody shut the fuck up. Hold on. If she's aiming a gun at the base of her skull and she's standing in front of John kissing him, if she shot her or whatever, then the fucking bullet would go through her head and fucking hit her brother.
Yes.
Don't
that's
think
the
about
fucking
it.
thing I kept pointing out too is she has her gun uncomfortably pointed right towards her own fucking brother too.
Yeah.
Right at his fucking dick, no less.
Fair. Fair enough.
How? Right in the family jewels.
Those Ark family jewels.
She was aware of the weapon that was aimed at the base of her skull, feeling it between her hair, the smell of the dust in it like an awareness. He kissed her back. She felt the shudder go down her spine at that kiss. Blake's face flashed in her mind, smiling broadly as she held up the severed head of her master, the triumphant grin on that dumb cunt's face as she would speak of revolution and blood and flame.
So why is she imagining fucking Blake chopping her fucking boy toy's head off?
Because she's like, that's not gonna happen.
I'm not gonna let you kill my boyfriend. Or something.
I just love the fact that
No.
even the author knows it's fucking annoying that she keeps talking about revolution, yet that's her entire character.
Yeah, that's her entire character for, like I said, the next 44 chapters.
Now let's
I think.
continue.
Let's continue.
That's not going to happen. No, nope, never. She would not let her man be tarnished by some cat who had been hopped up on murderous propaganda. She'd die before she let her man be touched by some sissy little cat who couldn't shut the fuck up when it's in her best interest. Yang felt like it'd be better if she was renamed Curiosity when she got her hands on Blake, because that cat was going to get killed.
Oh.
Oh, witty.
FNAF.
Truly.
How
Hoi,
fucking-
hoi, hoi, hoi.
La, 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 la.
Writer's Guild Award.
Yeah, like fucking Shakespeare ain't got shit on this.
Nope.
I
Shakespeare
want
ain't
to
shit.
die.
9. I'm not letting anyone steal you from me, my master.
Crash.
It would be funny if she actually added a fucking snake hiss in there.
My master.
I mean, dragons are kind of serpentines, so.
At least the Asian ones are. Her mouth pressed against his own, a sensual moan coming from her lips as his hands slid up, grabbing her tits. It says breast, but I'm twitching it to tits. She could
Why do
feel.
you think tits is more erotic?
No, tits has better flow.
Oh.
Tits flow better.
Everybody loves tits, okay? They are the best birds out there.
Behold the great tit.
The great tit is in danger of going extinct. Truly a shame.
Only you can save the tits.
You must save the great tits.
That should be a fucking campaign or something. It just shows like a woman with like her cleavage out. Then it switches down. You read down a little bit further. It shows two birds. It's like only you can save the tits.
No, it's just two tits in between tits.
Sponsored.
Only you
Sponsored by
can
PETA.
save the tits.
Sponsored by PETA.
Fucking
Yeah,
no,
what's-
not PETA.
PETA would sponsor that.
That's
No,
the
they
funny
wouldn't.
part.
They don't want to save animals. They want to kill them.
PETA are just fucking monsters, unironically. They want to kill
Sociopaths.
every
Kill the
animal
animals,
that's had
eat their
any
flesh.
contact with human without. PETA wants to kill every single animal that's ever had contact with humans.
Kill the
That is their
animals,
goal.
consume their flesh. Yeah.
They want humanity to go extinct, and they want all the animals that humans have cultivated to also go extinct. They are unironically evil.
Yep, sounds like PETA.
Anyways, continuing
It would be
on.
funny if, like, every once in a while you get a video of PETA that, like, run into a zoo and beat the shit out of the fucking pandas.
Her mouth.
I mean, they will straight up just adopt people's animals, so that's not entirely beyond what they usually do.
Oh yeah, they'll kidnap people's dogs and then just fucking murder them. There was one high-profile story where they lured a little girl's pet dog off of the property, took the dog, and then euthanized it. Right there and then. And threw it into a dumpster. They'll take animals out of shelters, like puppies, and mass euthanize them. And like there'll be piles and piles and piles of corpses in dumpsters. And it's a massive fucking problem. Because that's not only a biohazard and very, very illegal, but it's also immoral to an extreme. Nobody likes
basically-
PETA once they hear what PETA actually does.
So PETA is basically the Danish government.
Yes, but for every animal, not just minks.
Nice burn there.
I like how Law muted himself. He's probably swearing in Dane.
He probably laughing, actually.
Probably.
I
Anyways,
didn't hear what you guys were saying for the last 30 seconds whilst I was building my ambot because the internet died again.
okay,
we were talking about how
so
PETA is literally evil because they just abduct animals and mass euthanize them. So I was like, well, apparently PETA is the Danish government.
I mean, he's not wrong.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, continuing on. Her mouth pressed against his own, a sensual moan coming from her lips as the hands slid up, grabbing her breasts. She could feel his tongue push against her lips, opening them for him. It was so gentle, so nice. Master. Her lip. Her hips bucked against the bed, a faint heh coming from Juniper coming as the weapon slowly inched away, still trained on her head. She could feel a woman's strong hand brush over her spine. Yang. Wait. Yang. Her eyes looked down, seeing the hard erection standing there. Her tongue licked over her lips, remembering that kiss. I'll fucking pin the kitty down and let her get savaged by those brutes if she ever hurts you. It was a dark thought. She would do it without any empathy for the little bitch. She knew that John wanted Blake. She knew that
Everybody
John
would do it without any second thoughts.
She knew that John wanted Blake alive, but she wouldn't abide by it. So many of her people were dead because that girl had this crazy dream of Faunus jihad.
Woo! He used it. He said it.
I mean, that's the second time that she actually used the word jihad.
Yeah.
And that's
it's just-
already way too many times.
It's just funnier in this context.
I mean, ending a chapter on saying, oh, that's a fucking jihad, that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
The girl wouldn't learn. Now the sister, with that riding crop, had hinted that she was going to catch the tiger and break her in as a present for her brother. Yang knew that Blake had been a virgin when she had been caught. That much had been implied already, and it showed that Blake hadn't gone through the appropriate processes. Ooh, baby.
That's
She had
all not gonna get retconned.
She hadn't either. She had had the benefits of her father's status, though her body
how
was.
could you tell it was going to get retcon, Lau, by my fucking subtle laughter?
No, I can just tell that that's fucking lying because this is not the kind of story where it's like, oh, she was a virgin before the story happened. No, she wasn't. Because they kind of cut back and she's getting savaged.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of amusing how they say that she was a virgin shit, considering the fact of how the faunus culture works and how, even in the little thing, like, what, maybe 2-3 paragraphs ago when she was basically said, yeah, I'd give birth to a whole bunch of faunus babies, keep the fucking war effort going. No
Keep the war
sacrifice is
effort
too
going.
great.
Yeah.
It hadn't been. Wait. She hadn't either. She'd had the benefits of her father's status, though her body was sold due to the license expiring. It hadn't been easy to find a job even before the prostitution had started. Her father had been skilled. He'd been superb huntsman. She was not that great yet in her own mind. She hadn't even been trained in the way of the huntsmen and the huntresses, aside from her father's instructions. You ready for this? Ooh.
Wait, the Coltsmen are actually working people? I thought they were just government agents.
Oh no, they're supposed to be volunteers. Anyways, let's continue on. Are you ready for the second round, eh? Her eyes gazed into his own. Her heart was hammering in her chest, her breathing tense, knowing that she was going to be making him happy. She was so glad that he liked her. She was so glad that she had clean clothes, clean water, and food that tastes better than slave chow. Yang, I should go get breakfast. Or I should... Yang, I should go to breakfast.
Fucking Christ. Why does that fit so well that he's doing the finger gun?
Because I'm doing the entire voice. Her tongue licked over her lips as his voice sounded hesitant. She craved that hesitancy, because it meant that he wanted to be here with her. I'm getting my breakfast, master. Her hand grabbed hold of his hard cock, stroking it slowly, her eyes sliding down.
Is it hard again? It usually takes a while. I thought it was flaccid.
15 minutes is the average.
Okay. Cool.
Wow, what a fucking coward.
It's such a hefty protein shake. Makes a girl salivate, you know.
Jesus fucking Christ.
She'd salivate over a nice...
He just compared his dick to a protein shake?
Dude, I'm literally just looking at my fucking handgun sitting on my desk, and I'm just thinking, it probably wouldn't be a good idea, but...
Don't do it, Cap. Don't do it. Not for this.
If this continues, old friend, this will be the last time I see you.
Old friend.
She'd salivate over a nice fine steak too, but this was different. There was no moment for her to tear into the meat. She wanted to savor it. That's good, Yang. He smiled at her, his hand running through her hair. Her nose bumped against his head, smelling the saliva, the traces of his seed still there. It was such a strong kick to the smell. The man who was hers, who she had chosen. You are expected at the breakfast, Jean. The sister commented as she cleared her throat, drawing Yang from her little fantasy. The images cut off at the point when she was really getting this guy slammed home inside her driveway. Oh, fuck's sake.
Jesus Christ.
Do they even know what a driveway is? Do they have the concept of a driveway?
No.
Do they have fucking cars?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Wait, they do?
They do.
Remember, this is fucking modern. This is like a modern setting, but using like medieval feudal society rules. Remember, they have guns. They have
I
fucking.
thought it was an actual medieval like.
It's so stupid.
I don't remember them because at that point.
If we read an additional chapter, he mentions that he gets picked up in a fucking like limousine at one point or a car or something.
Alright, so it's basically just a modern world, but we're still working with fucking feudal systems somehow.
Yeah, it's basically just like default, like Ruby lore technology-wise or whatever. Just with feudal shit.
Anyways, the sister commented as she cleared her throat, drawing Yang. Wait, I read that. Yes. Thanks, Yang. Her lips slid over the shaft and then went down, cleaning him up. She was going to make sure that he wouldn't be giving anyone else the leftovers of his seed with that cock. She knew that the little kitty bitch would undoubtedly moan like the seedy little rat she was. Go on ahead. Wait. Go on ahead. Juniper Ark said, her voice light as she waved him forward. I've got to talk with little Miss Doe over there. She knew that she would get her chat with the woman now. Her master's fingers traced over her forehead as he got himself ready for breakfast. She smiled a little at him. Shyly,
She felt shy for some reason as he smiled at her. The stomach ache isn't going away. Left alone in the room with the woman, she watched the woman carefully.
Sorry.
Nice.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
No,
Lady,
you're not.
No, you aren't.
I'm kind of sorry.
Lady
I'm
Juniper,
kind of sorry.
I have. She tried to find the formal wording for it. The woman sitting herself down on the bed, the weapon still trained at her. It was a habit of the woman, it seemed. Blake is determined to bite his cock off. The words were crude, yet Juniper Ark did not respond audibly, calm eyes which merely regarded her with a calmness of understanding. She'd expected the woman to explode in anger, to ask for verification of those claims. The horror dawned on her as she realized that the only reason why the woman didn't respond explosively was because they'd already known. We know.
Oh shit.
We know. The confirmation was damning. Her master's first pet, the one who technically should be higher in the rankings than she, did not wish to serve. She was a spoiled, greedy little revolutionary worth about the amount of brain cells as a puddle in leftover cum. As a puddle of leftover cum.
Fair enough.
Unironically, yeah, that is a fair enough assessment given how stupid she is.
Oh. Her voice was soft as she looked down.
This bitch could learn a lesson or two from fucking Django.
I've said that I would help him. Nine. Help her. Nine. I want to keep him alive. I'd never hurt him. The panic raced through her. If I can control her, I will make sure that she won't hurt him. Desperation raced through her. Blake screamed about killing the raping bastards, but that didn't mean that she wanted to die. Please don't kill me, Mistress Juniper. Please. Pleading with the woman for her life wasn't something that she was above doing. She wanted to live. She wanted to have him hold her and use her, even if he treated her badly. She wanted so badly to make him smile. Juniper Ark looked no different than before. There was no choice, no hope in her mind. With a single pull of the trigger, Yang would be hurt. Not even Ara could shield from a bullet from such a close distance.
Okay.
That's not true.
Fuck you, show.
Yeah, that's a fucking fake.
Welcome to Ruby.
The only thing is, the way they fucking describe aura and shit is basically how fucking Plague of Gripes described the fucking key or whatever from fucking Dragon Ball Z, where it's basically just like an outer shell of armor. Like, underneath it, you're basically just a normal dude, but if you have like the fucking key and shit, it basically makes you Superman. And the more fucking bigger your number is, the more Superman you are.
Well, that still makes no sense, because if aura was just like surrounded you on the outside or whatever, that means if you could still die from like falls and stuff, which we see people's aura saving them from lethal falls. So that doesn't make any sense either.
It's just kind of like in Dragon Ball Z when a dude gets bitch slapped into the side of a planet and makes a fucking crater.
Let me guess, he doesn't die.
Okay,
Of course.
Obviously, you've never seen
Fight's
Dragon
gotta
Ball.
happen.
No.
Wow, you've never seen Dragon Ball? Wow.
I mean, I've seen a couple episodes of the Abridged series, and that was fucking hilarious, so...
Yes, Dragon Ball Z Abridged is God. It is literally God's creation. It's a blessing compared to this shit.
And then it ended, and then everyone was sad.
Yeah.
Ba-ba-ba-ba.
It would be fucking great if one of the people from 4-Star heard this shit from the Kitties podcast and they're like, wow. You know what?
And I thought we
counter
were
this
bad.
we need to counter this fucking evil. Get the recording equipment. We're doing another season.
Yeah!
There was no chance, no hope in her mind. With a single pull of the trigger, Yang would be hurt. Oh, I already read that. Don't you think that we would just let you sit in a room? Wait. Don't you think that we would just let you sit in a room unguarded? That isn't what they're saying. As a
Do you think?
That has nothing to do with what she just said.
It should be, you don't think that we'd just let you sit in a room unguarded.
Yeah.
That would be the correct writing of it going off what's coming next, but it's incorrectly written. Yang shuddered. The blank, emotional voice from the woman was like a warning. That we wouldn't monitor all that you would end up and all that you
Keep
would
this-
do and say.
Keep this in mind for later when they say they monitor shit that happens in the house. Keep this in mind for later.
Okay.
I feel like there's a plot point coming up that pisses Courier off, but I can't
Everything
put my
in this
finger
story
on it.
pisses me off because everything that's set up early on is fucking retconned everything later.
Okay, I want to get through the rest of this in the next half hour. Okay, I want to. Anyways, continuing on. This is a really fucking long one too. Holy shit.
Sorry.
It's all good. That we wouldn't monitor what you would do and say. We went wrong once, and the girl nearly laid a hand on my brother. My patience is nearly done. Auburn wants to make the girl into an example. Argent hasn't been too much for things, but mother? A sigh coming from the woman as a sign that her life might not be too much endangered. She really cares for Jean. So, we're going to give hers a girl. Mother knows how to deal with that kind. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! This is gonna be entertaining! The words brought to mind the frightening woman whose questions had been harsh and she felt humiliated by. You
Oh,
really...
if you thought Juniper's rapes were bad, just wait until you see his mom's rapes.
You mean with a horse? I imagine there's gonna be a horse.
Oh, God.
Let's continue on. You really do like my brother, don't you? She startled the older woman, sighing as she ran a hand through her hair. The strands were loose, yet she looked away from the woman's questioning gaze. That's a good thing, Jean. The woman looked up to the ceiling, and Yang felt for a moment that there was something going on. Jean was depressed before. The rejection letter hit him hard, because... The woman gave a mirthless smile, even as Yang felt cold inside. Her master felt depressed. That beautiful smile and those expressive eyes that looked at her as if she was the next coming of some heroine of legend. Depressed. Because things don't go as you want them to. You've got a smart head on your shoulders, girl. The woman was being candid with her, treating her more as an equal? Some sort of equal. It was tough to guess with the woman's mannerisms. And you seem different. Not as bad. Wait, that was in Yang. And you seem different. Not as bad. Yang quirked a little smile as the woman's gaze lowered, looking at her. You're still an animal, girl. You still have no rights to speak of, but... A sad smile curled on the woman's lips. But if you make him happy, that is worth at least a thank you from a grateful elder sister. He plucked you off the streets, a hooker, because he saw something in you. Just like Cammy, he knows people when he sees them. Innocent, kind, not like me. The woman's eyes firmed as the smile faded. But if you ever hurt him, if I ever get an inkling of him being hurt, or you stomp over his heart like the animals would do, the woman mimed pulling the trigger. I will track you down, and I will make you feel the worst of pains. Argent may be the chemist of the family. Auburn may just have a fascination with crossbreeding your kind. But I will make sure that you feel nothing but the pain. Keep that in mind. She did. She didn't think she'd ever be able to hurt him, to see him look at her in horror and disgust. The thought just made her heart shrivel up and throb painfully. She was not going to make the mistake of hurting him, because it would hurt her more. Yawning.
Keep going, we can make it.
Yeah,
We can make it, Sonny!
She muttered
Push
demurely.
to the limit.
The small smile on Juniper's face as she patted the shoulder. Yang wondered if this made them somewhat friends, but that likely wasn't the case. The woman loved her little brother as any good sister would. I wonder what it'd be like to have a sister. They'd get to serve the master together, undoubtedly. It'd be fun to get dicked alongside your sister. Actually, that'd probably be a fetish that fucking author would have.
Probably.
Probably.
Actually, wait, no, hold on, let me think.
No, don't.
That's a different. Never mind. That's a different author. I'm thinking.
An image of herself and a similarly blonde girl with swollen bellies and a happy
Master! Standing next to them, proudly looking at the two of them, her stomach ache turned again, and she knew that she was in the land of fantasies. Ho-ho! Ho-ho!
Raping jihadis is justified and moral! Uh-huh!
We're going to kiss.
Oh my god, fucking Lol did that so fucking perfect.
We're gonna gas all the humans. Ho-ho! Jihad! Ho-ho! Oh, Lord, oh fucking mighty. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Jihad! Uh-huh!
Do you children like jihad? Ho-ho!
Do you want to kill the Jews?
Unironically, that's how they fucking made Mickey Mouse in South Park.
Anyways, let's keep going. I best go to breakfast. Remember, don't make him sad. He saw something special in you, Faunus. The woman still hadn't used her name. She wasn't sure whether the woman remembered her name, but her master did. He used her name, and that was great. Make the bed. Fresh sheets. He likes to sleep in a bit. A fond smile on the sister's face. It looked so natural as she seemed to be indulging in her brother's sleeping habit. Yang felt a gush inside her nethers as she imagined laying in bed together with him. The door shut behind the woman, Yang moving to the bed, her head nosing over the pillow, smelling her owner's scent. It was a silly thing, but she could feel the closeness. She felt the leftover body heat. Scent was one of the things that Faunus had better than most of the humans.
Imagine pissing yourself just thinking about sleeping in the same bed as somebody you like. Jesus Christ.
Oh,
Yeah,
sheets definitely need to be switched out now.
That's literally fucking yandere level shit.
Yeah.
She's like, do you like this cake? I baked some of my blood and hair into it.
Do you want to have some
Blood
cake?
and
I baked my love juices into it.
Oh my god. I remember that.
Oh shit, we're beginning the witch.
We need to watch Shimonetta. That's gonna be great.
I'll download it and we can watch it tomorrow.
Hooray!
I have no
As I
idea what
fucking
you guys
load my
are talking
handgun.
about, but
Oh my god,
you'll
Curry,
love it.
you're gonna fucking enjoy it. That's what we're gonna watch tomorrow. No crappy SAO or anything. We're gonna watch Simonetta.
Nah, we're gonna watch like 6 episodes of SIO, and then it's like the rest is Shimonetta.
okay.
The door shut behind the woman, Yang moving away. I read that. The creak of the door opening and a sudden feeling of someone grabbing her ass made her look up, her head turning back to look at Saffron Arc, whose face bore a sinister smile, like a shark Faunus that she'd once seen. That smile was broad and showed teeth, a hunger in those eyes that was predatory. Hey there, sexy little doe. A tongue slid over lips as the blue eyes looked at her. Yang straightened out. She checked the clock to find that it had been nearly an hour since she'd last seen her master. Had time really passed by so quickly? I should make the bed, she mumbled, blushing. She'd been caught up in the master's scent.
I like the implication that for an hour she's basically fucking standing there staring off into
Just
space.
standing
with
there
1,000 yards
staring off
stare.
into space. Yeah.
No, she's lying on the bed sniffing pillows. Oh, I'll watch. Someone has to keep an eye on you, my delicious little venison slice.
The words were
Jesus fucking
unpleasant.
Christ.
She looked like a deer Faunus, a stag more so than a deer, but it didn't mean that she liked hearing the degrading terms tossed around, though it was more of a point of personal pride. Not that she had much of that, but it was the thought that counted. As she made the bed, changing the pillowcase last, she bundled it up and walked to the laundry unit, pushing it into one of the large baskets for other Faunus to take care of. She returned, finding Saffron Arc laid on the master's bed, the dress that she wore a deep orange color, looking a little opened. Little mongrel, come with me. The order was thus, and she knew that she couldn't deny. Without her master telling her to be at his side, she essentially was free meat. She opened the door to the bedroom of the woman, feeling the hand grope her rump, the fingers squeezing and kneading the flesh as the woman's breath tickled her ear. Such a damn fine ass you've got there, girl.
I've got a lot more in store for your brother, Mistress Saffron. Her voice was breathy, challenging lightly as the woman slid her fingers over her slid, touching the moist fabric. As the woman slid her fingers over her slid.
Her sled? Wow.
As the woman slid her fingers over her slid. She slid her fingers over her slid. I'm just gonna leave that
That makes
there and
sense.
continue on.
Okay.
Have you asked Master Veza he permits this? A soft snickering sound as the woman's finger pushed the underwear aside and pushed a finger in. Probing
The
and
one thing-
searching as the low, amused tone of her laughter came. Oh, you're public property, little doe. The fingers were out, and Yang felt the push against her back, landing
Now
on the
she's- now
bed.
She's property of the Arcs. But anyway.
The maid outfit was a little tight as she felt its strain. As she felt the strain it felt.
What?
As she felt the strain it felt against her flesh. It happened twice now.
Jesus fucking Christ. I was gonna say, can you not just if you put this into fucking Microsoft Word, wouldn't Word tell you you're making fucking mistakes?
Yes, it would point out the grammar is repetitive.
Yes, chances.
You could literally get this
Huh?
corrected using autocorrect. That's wow.
Saffron pressing her fingers against the slid, pumping the index finger in before the middle finger went slowly pushing into her. Is slid supposed to be slit?
It's slit, yeah, as in
Supposed to be
vagina.
fucking slit. What the
And
fuck?
I just gotta fucking ask too is, I just wonder if this person actually somehow got like a fucking degree in like writing or some shit just to fucking show that anybody could get it.
Please no.
I'd fucking blow my head off.
I would actually be fucking infuriated.
It's just like that one dude, Onision, where like literally the dude has a fucking like degree in writing or something, and if you've ever fucking read his books,
Yeah.
yeah.
Nice and wet. Better than your little dry cunted kitten friend. There was a sensation of something as Yang felt a phallic tool pressed against her cunt lips, about to be driven into her. How about I... Wait. How about I eat you out? She wasn't really into that kind of thing, but if the woman needed relief, she'd do her best. End quote.
I want to die.
I like how the author made a fucking lesbian sex scene fucking unsexy. That's gotta be a fucking achievement or something there.
The
I'm
woman
not
laughed
really-
before
I'm not
feeling
really into
the
lesbian sex scenes.
The woman laughed before the feeling of the tool disappearing was good enough for her. Show your skills, dearie. She watched as the woman crawled up on the bed, spreading her legs, the dress hitched up high. A bald slit stood before her, the pussy lips looking moist.
I was about to say, wow, it's been a long time since John did this for me.
Ooh. Well, you're a landy little bitch, aren't you? Her private thoughts were not aired to the woman who could give her death with but a word, as her eyes glanced at the thing that'd be about to penetrate her. There was no sign of the woman's attendant, which she took as a decent thing. Or it had been some sort of switch of assistance of sorts. Her hands held on to the woman's thighs as her lips pressed against the slit. Oh, they're finally spelling fucking slit correctly.
Yay.
Her tongue slid into the hole, wet and wriggling. The soft little ah from the woman's lips was more than sufficient to tell her how good she wasn't delivering the pleasure. Her tongue sliding into the little curves as she delved deeper. Her hands slid from those thighs down, rubbing over the sensitive spots near the inner thighs, touching lightly, just the way that she'd learned from a few of the more experienced girls that had taken pity on her, as well as some of the female customers. Saffron Ark was a sensitive woman, Yang found. The tongue continued to wriggle inside the woman, and the little shrieks of pleasure that the woman gave were just the icing on the cake. From what she'd seen, the woman enjoyed taking a woman with some sorts of penis-like monstrosity, giving her enough sensation to keep her on the edge and not come. It hurts to read.
Hurts to listen to.
Fucking awful.
That's
Fucking
it.
die.
The woman's well-manicured hands on her antlers felt like they were holding her as the sensation rocked through the woman's face. Show your superior who the best woman is, you lowborn fungus mongrel. Ah! The woman's face was hard to see from this place, though you can't see it at all from her fucking tits, you thought!
You thought?
Though her skin flushed and sweated. Yang could smell the scent of the woman dominate the bed as well as the scent of the other faunus who had shared it. She idly wondered why Terra's scent hardly was represented before her eyes fell to a small cot at the side as she raised her head, flicking her tongue at the nub of nerves, a bowl with Terra engraved on in the side, clearly with a child's etching skills. Oh. There was a story there, one that she didn't think she should ask, but the cot looked comfortable enough. A few pillows that looked soft and fluffy as she dove back and the woman moaned loudly. She felt the need to do a better job as the hands jerked her head down once more. That's it, sweetheart. Come on, give me some pleasure. It was perhaps because of her status as a faunus that was owned by her brother, but the woman's words seemed almost gentle. The eyes rolled back as Saffron shook, her whole body quivering. Yang got up, panting a little, her lips wet, the juices dripping down onto the bed. And now, the smile on Saffron's face was nefarious as she got up to her full height, pushing Yang down. The juices were wet. No, you don't say.
Oh my god.
Soaking
water
into the
was wet.
Dry.
Jesus, so wet. Literally, water was wet.
water.
Jesus
The water
Christ.
was wet. No, you don't fucking say. Soaking into
my
the fabric
fucking
of the
God.
clothing as Yang felt something press against her tight pucker. Something large and cock-like. Something that Saffron had been pressing against her pussy lips. Her eyes went wide as she felt it be driven in, a low humming coming from Saffron's mouth. Pain made her scrunch her face up, her whole body shuddering as the sensation of something large being driven into her ass, a hand on her horns. She was being fucked in the ass, a woman jerking her head back by the antlers, suddenly spitting in her face. What?
You ever wonder why we're still here?
That's one of
Why
the
are we
greatest
still
mysteries
here?
of life, isn't it?
Just to suffer?
Hey, I'm here just building an empire, and I just finished mine.
Actually, I thought it would have been funny if that was going into the "Why are we still here?" line from Red vs. Blue, because remember, all of this started from that.
That's what I tried to do, but it failed spectacularly. So.
You're
Yeah,
nothing.
because Kitty was
You
like,
ever
"Why
wonder
are we
why
still
we're here?"
Just to suffer." Fuck off.
You're nothing but a seductive little brown brat, trying to get at some pure humans. This was met with a moan from her lips as Yang felt the pain of the unlubed strap-on driving itself into her ass, the burning sensation feeling uncomfortable as the spit dripped from her face. She knew that the humans dominated the faunus through their prowess in fighting, yet the woman was almost manic as she drove herself into her.
Actually, the humans won because they're fucking not retarded in terms of strategy and tactics. Apparently, when we do fucking see it, the faunus are stronger than humans, but they're retarded or something. I don't know.
It wasn't as bad as Yang had thought. The sensation of her ass burning started to be almost bearable. Her natural regenerative strength, thanks to the aura that burned brightly within her enough. Oh, she's a butt slut. She'd just have to wait for the woman to tire out. Saffron didn't feel like she had much in the way of stamina. Moan for me, animal. Come on, moan for your mistress. Moan, damn it! Her head hurt as the woman jerked it back, a groan coming from her mouth as a low moan followed after it.
You okay, Kitty?
No!
Nope.
The fuck do you think, motherfucker?
I think he's in need of psychological therapy.
I would agree, because I'm in need of that too.
I think we all are.
Yeah. We're all in need of
Get
some
the
psychological
bottle.
therapy and some good old Cali poon.
Listen, last time I went to a fucking psychologist, they diagnosed me with autism, so I'm in a hurry, okay?
I mean, were they wrong though?
No,
Probably not.
that's the problem. They were right.
They were right about it.
Yeah, so they figured out that you had autism, so...
That's the problem. I don't want them figuring out anything else.
Were you like 24 when they fucking diagnosed you?
No, I was like 5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's
he was
why
the
he's
kind of-
afraid of
he was
what
the
a
kind of person who
psychologist
pretended
can
to
get
be-
out of him.
I'm not
I think
even
he's-
24 right now. Jesus, man. I'm 21.
He pretended
Wow.
to be a frog or some shit like that, and they're like, this kid's fucking autistic.
No, it was actually because, so some deep kitty lore. I could not touch paper when I was a kid. Like,
Oh, man.
the feeling, the texture of paper would actually give me, like, minor panic attacks.
Man, no wonder why they thought you were a fucked up little kid.
Oh, yeah. Like, they could not get me to work with paper at all in school. So, like, the teachers are trying to figure out what the fuck is wrong with me. My parents are like, okay, we better take him to a fucking professional to figure out what the fuck is going on. The professional's like, oh, yeah, your kid's a genius, but he's fucking autistic.
That sounds familiar.
Anyways, let's continue on.
I remember my
Yeah.
4th grade teacher bullied me, and I used to hide underneath my desk and cry, and all the kids and the teacher would make fun of me. That was fun.
Man, don't you think it'd be great to live in the world of Banjo-Kazooie right about now?
I think so.
Oh yeah, Kitty, that can't work with paper shit. That's like I used to eat sand levels of what the fuck.
See, I was a pretty fucking, when it came to, like, putting stuff in my mouth, I was not a weird kid. If anything, I was a little bit too picky with what I eat.
Oh no, you're my brother.
Same here.
I mean, a lot of the pickiness was just down to texture, and now it's whatever.
Or appearance.
No, appearance is perfectly fine for me. I still find certain things are bitter, like or any like rye breads. Rye breads are bitter to me, as is broccoli. And then really bitter foods like Brussels sprouts, I just can't have them at all. But that's because I'm a super taster.
Man, we're really bored.
Oh yeah, this is immensely fucking boring. But I'm gonna continue on because I have like 25% of this left to do, and I just got through 30% of it in one go.
Nice.
So let's fucking go. He looked at his sisters, 3 of them present for breakfast. He had no idea where Saffron had gotten off to. His knowledge of where Camellia was had been sparse as always. Auburn was busy buttering her toast and making eyes at one of the new Faunus maids that had been selected, probably with more bad stuff in the future for the girl. Juniper and Argent were carrying on a conversation about something that he had long since lost track of. Can I ask, Judy? His older sister turned to him, smiling at him. Yes, Jean?
I like that fucking reading when he was sounded so awkward, but he still did the finger guns. That makes it seem so much better. It's like, how's everything going?
Jimmy!
She smiled encouragingly at him. She was such a nice woman, even though her unmarried status had his father worrying. Father had always been the deciding factor in who did what. Can I get a genealogy of Lady Rose drawn up? In comparison to us, that is. His sisters looked between each other, Auburn not really seemingly comprehending the question. A smirk came to Argent's face as Juniper nudged her. Why, of course. I have it prepared here somewhere. Argent smiled, knowing much more about genetics than most people. With her job as a scientist, it was probably her who knew the genealogy of the families of Vale the best. Let's look over it
Look.
together, before Mother and Lady Rose come around. All right.
I'm a nondescript random scientist.
Nondescript random scientist. She's a
Yeah.
scientist trademark.
Yeah, three of John's sisters basically get no character development. It's Argent, the chemist lady, and then he also has like 2 other sisters who are like younger than him or almost the same age, like named something and Helena. And they basically all they do is sleep, and that's all we know about them.
Okay. Anyways, let's continue on. Thank you. Do you think that Saffron will be joining us? Juniper looked at him for a moment as he wondered briefly what she and Yang talked about. He hoped that he could see Blake again, but it might have been for the best that the girl was left alone for a bit to get better. Those wounds on her back had been uncomfortable looking, at least. Maybe. She's taken your blonde for her own service for a bit. Her faunus has been told to attend to your every need. The smug grin and wink on Juniper's face was telling as Terra stood there, stiff and awaiting his commands. He didn't. Well, he supposed that he could go fetch Yang, but it might be best to let Yang experience some service under Saffron. He wondered if Terra would be up for a game or two. If Saffron was good at teaching Terra, then Yang could be in fine hands, right? Terra was perfectly respectable. He idly wondered about the little welcome gift that he'd made for her. It had been a silly little thing, but he'd worked on it. The music that played was some of the old music, played on some musical box, already entering the 4th hour. Saffron Arc was beginning to tire out, and Yang Xiaolong knew that. The woman slumped over as she started on her 16th orgasm. Her sweaty body laid beside Yang, the woman obviously weary from the pleasure that she'd inflicted on her sick and twisted games.
Wait, so I'm sorry. Can you literally have an orgasm by like fucking somebody else in the ass as a woman?
Yes.
That makes no sense.
Do you not know how strap-ons
it makes
work?
sense because women don't actually have orgasms as men have.
So how the strap-on works is that it's a little plate with 2 things attached to it. One goes inside the person wearing the strap-on, and the other one is the dildo that's protruding out. And because all the nerve endings are around the entrance, all you really need to do is stimulate the entrance.
Also, I just want to say that female orgasms are just a fucking ploy made by the Jews.
Oy vey.
You...
They're the only.
No, that's squirting.
They're the only female creature, or just creature in general on the planet, that enjoys orgasms.
Let's continue. The insults, the jibes, and the taunts had been part of the game for the woman. Yang realized as Saffron laid beside her, the phallic tool having probed her pussy and her ass. Heedless of the consequences, Yang felt violated, angry. That was good. You're a good little mongrel for Jean. The words were repeated after each fucking, the woman's small 5 to 10 minute break, the kissing and the squeezing, and the soft groaning and moaning, and then picking up where she'd left off. Yang had remained free for the last hour, the shackles that had come with the bed having been released. When Mistress Saffron wished to rail her from behind, Yang's height had been an issue. She gave the image of a tired and defeated faunus, yet Yang burned internally. Spotting the phallic tool that had been left there, knowing that it'd be inside her once the woman had recovered her stamina, and knowing how much trouble she could get in, she had an idea. Her hand dropped off the bed to the toy box and laid there, finding a phallic tool within it and jerking out. Her hands looked at it, the ridges and edges of the smooth plastic looking like it'd get some good use, and it smelled clean, which was a boon. She turned to face Saffron, whose back was to her, the woman giving the air of defeat, smells of sex and sweat mixed together. A moment, her aura cycled through her system, a bright spark igniting in the depths of her reserves. Her body felt stronger as she let it flow through her, hips lifted as she fitted the harness into place. She'd have to be fast!
Good old revenge fucking nothing better, I guess.
Also, I just want to also reiterate, for no particular reason, but this thing is made out of wood, too.
Mhm.
Look, it's a pink wax.
No, it hasn't.
Let me just point out that she's using her aura to butt fuck Saffron Arc.
Now to get the strength back to buttfucker, yeah.
Saffron Arc did not expect her to be able to move, as Yang grabbed one of the shackles and fastened it, shackling the woman to the bed. The loud aria of one of the women in whatever opera had been put on continued as she fastened the other one. Eyes that were wide and half-dazed, sexually exhausted state looked up at her as she grinned. Fear flashed in those eyes as the woman realized what was happening. Payback's a bitch, Mistress Saffron. The words of the woman as she felt the urges inside her rise. What? The harness that held the fake cock that had been slamming home into her tender holes was torn off the woman's body as Saffron, who realized that she'd she'd been getting herself in a particularly sticky situation, started to scream and writhe with fading strength as Yang threw the phallic tool of pain away, looking down at the woman whose body lay there right.
I hate everything.
The sound
This is
of
fucking boring.
the sound of the music player drowned out the sound of the screams, precisely what the woman had intended to happen to her own. Time for your pleasure, Mistress Saffron.
Hey, remember how they're always supposed to have a bodyguard with them? Yeah.
Look, the bodyguard is watching opera, so
The bodyguard is watching the opera, not paying attention. The woman's
Remember how they're supposed to have monitoring devices or
Yeah,
whatever
that's-
inside the house?
no, it didn't happen.
Ta 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 ta. The woman's breath escaped her as she drove herself into the woman's sex. The pleasure making a keening sound erupt from Saffron's lips as the Yang drove her phallic encouragement into the woman. Leaning over the older woman's body, her cocky grin was directed at the woman as the hormones and pheromone. There are no pheromones inside human bodies, thank you very much. Inside her urged her on. The shame and humiliation of being bested by a woman and used urged her on as her mouth opened and she clamped down, driving herself into the woman's tender sex. Teeth bit down on the tender flesh to show the woman that what she was facing, that she felt the weak neck below her teeth ready to be twisted with the jerk of the neck. The voice of Saffron Arc was throaty, pained, and yet pleasured. The woman was enjoying this, Yang realized, as she started to move. The sight of the matured flesh of one of the oldest Arc sisters was there as Yang domineered the woman. The urges were pounding through her, her blood feeling like it was on fire, the craving to destroy, to break and tear up, all focusing on this woman. She was the one who had shamed her. She was the one who had demanded her to be humiliated, and she would get her just punishment. Outwardly, only the color of the eyes shifted to a deep red color as Yang's hips smacked against Saffron's. The woman was weak to such pleasure as the tool that she wore had been small on her and easily clenched within a vagina, yet not as filling like this one. The fear in those eyes as she drove her lips to the woman's body to let the flesh feel the shock of that impact, to feel the fake shaft inside the woman buck back against her own. Yang's breasts dripped with sweat, her hair slick, her antlers rising up, bent over the woman. Yang continued to move as Saffron's wail and moan mingled with the loud music, dampening her enthusiasm not one bit as she exacted punishment to the woman for her perverse lusts.
Holy shit, I've not heard anything properly coming out for the last 3 minutes. Fucking Christ.
You missed absolutely nothing.
Yes, I can tell with Broken Fangs. I literally can't miss anything. Till at least at chapter
Wow.
44.3.
'Cause every little thing is gonna be alright.
That's a fucking lie. I wanted to remain pure for the master, and you've taken that from me. He was supposed to be my first, and the only man after my purchase. He still is. Saffron isn't a man.
Yeah, I wonder how many times she took it up the ass, too, before that.
Probably quite a couple.
I think the qualifier there was after her purchase. The woman's neck was released, knowing that the teeth marks would be an unflattering moment. Her lips pressed against the woman, making her taste the saliva. The venom glands only gave her saliva a slight hint of the venom glands inside her mouth, though the mild dosage that she had infused in Blake when her claws raked into the flesh upon the way back had ensured the girl to feel such pleasure. The sensitivity of the flesh was such a useful tool. Come on, moan. She didn't speak much as she continued to thrust. Saffron Ark's body seemed to lose its resistance after the first hour, yet Yang only felt emboldened by the weakness that Saffron showed. The woman was so easily led onto the pass. A hand in the woman's hair as her lips pressed close to the ear. How's it feel to be fucked by your own brother's mongrel, huh? Her voice was soft, a low groan coming from the woman's lips. The whimpering was endearing, really. Yang's tongue slid over the sweat-slickened flesh. the salty sweat making her taste buds tingle. A whimper from the woman's mouth made her sensitivity rose. A whimper from the woman's mouth as her sensitivity rose once more. Yeah, I'm sorry. Let me go. Not
Anime
good enough,
fucking.
bitch. Her emotions increased and Saffron Ark's shrieks turned a pitch higher, her voice starting to crack, the screaming having gotten to the level of pleading and moaning by this hour. I'm sorry, oh, I'm sorry, please, not again, not again. Don't make me come again.
Oh my god, this makes me want to go back to Evil Healer.
Evil Healer has more class than this.
Yes, Evil
Don't.
Healer has more
It's a
class
lie.
than this.
It's a lie! Don't think it is lies about that.
At least Evil Healer is entertaining, this is just fucking boring.
The woman's pussy lips dripped with juices around the phallic tool. It was starting to make her own groin slick with the timing that her fake cock sank into the depraved depths. She knew that she would have to continue. You're going to apologize for every time you came, Saffron Ark. Master wouldn't want me to tarry in being a good pet. She had her pride. She was Yang Zhaolong, daughter of Tai Yang. She did not get humiliated like some toy unless she wanted it. Her father might have died. She might have been a whore, but for the young man who had taken her from her circumstances and had cared for her more than just an animal, or at least so she thought, going by his endearing looks, she felt proud of being his. Her man was important. The pussy could complain all she wanted, but the pussy was weak. The pussy will complain, but the pussy is weak.
The pussy was weak.
Weak. Your pussy is weak. When she was
Shut
with
up,
her
your ghost
man,
face, Ferris Manus.
when she was with her man, she was with her man. Saffron Ark screamed again as the next orgasm hit her. His eyes rolled back, Yang giving a smack to the woman's cheeks to get her awake again. The red mark had been repeated a few times whenever the woman passed out. Come on, Saffron. Who's a good little human, huh? Didn't that feel good? The anger inside her would not abate. Something told her that it was a bad thing to feel like this, but the anger and humiliation at being used by a woman while she was owned by a man brought her onwards to this moment. The sick, depraved pervert thought that she could take what was her brother's and use it like some toy. Well, she was wrong. Yeah. Yes, it feels good. It feels so fucking good. Please, please. I hate it.
This was the day I died.
The day you died, and the day I ceased wanting to live.
I could just imagine that every once in a while, Mad Courier's mind wanders to that weird little section of his brain where it's like, freeze frame. Now you may be wondering how I got into this situation.
No, it's the weird little section of his brain where he thinks about Blake. Not Yang, Blake.
Yang.
Yeah.
Yang
or-
too.
I feel
It
like
shifts
in,
from,
I
it
feel like
shifts
in,
from one to the other. He doesn't know why.
I feel I'm also reminded in situations like these. I don't know why of that one like robot chicken Star Wars thing or whatever where Vader is calling Palpatine, and he's like, "What the fuck is an aluminum falcon?" You guys remember that? That was hilarious.
Yes.
No, I don't
Totally,
remember
He
it because
starts
I'm not
crying,
a
and he's
fucking.
like, it's okay. I love you too.
I love you too. Yeah.
I'm not a millennial, so I don't know this.
The
Aw.
only robot chicken Star Wars thing I've seen is like, Uncle Owen, the droid has a bad motivator.
That's pretty good too. Yeah.
That's the only one I've seen.
Anyways, I'm gonna continue on because I want to get this done.
Let's just get this done. We've been in here for like
27
How
years.
much longer?
2.5 hours.
How
two
much
and a half
longer?
hours. Jesus Christ.
This is fucking
How
boring,
much
but it's
longer?
only like a tenth of the page left. The woman's voice cracked as tears came from her eyes. Yang felt a throbbing pulse that shot through her body as the adrenaline slowly faded. She looked at the woman, then at the clock, Saffron Ark's face was tear-streaked and sweaty, her hair plastered against the skin. A puddle of juices had collected below her thighs, and the smell of sex hung heavily in the air. The sheets were crumpled up and messy. The woman's flesh juices had collected. Oh, I read that. Flesh unmarked, mostly. The neck had a reddish mark of her mouth there, where her lips had pressed down, yet mostly there were no marks. A sneer came to her face as she grabbed the woman's hair, jerking her up. Thanks to the restraints, the woman's body was kept there, even though the legs, which had resisted at first, had laid weakly at the sides. Scared blue eyes looked at her, as whimpers and murmurs came from her prey's lips. She wished to give chase, to torment the woman more, to make sure that the fear would be embedded within the woman's soul, as she witnessed the pet of her young brother chase her down. "You're going to behave. You're going to behave. The master wouldn't want me to hurt you, but..." The high was slowly coming down as she realized what she'd just done. She'd snapped. She'd done exactly what Dad said she shouldn't. For him, I won't let anything happen to him by that silly cat. The image of the young man's smiling face was there in her mind's eye as she looked down at his older sister. She wasn't even aware that her eyes were red and serpentine, boring into the deep blues of Saffron Ark, the woman terrified as she stared into the burning depths. "Don't ever do that to me again. He can, if he wants. You? Never." The woman tried to nod, eyes looking at her with a look of fear even as Yang grinned. The sharp teeth looked predatory in as much the same fashion as a shark's grin. "In Forlien. Good. Enjoy the ride, Mistress Saffron." The woman shrieked in a hopeless shriek as Yang drove the fake cock into her again. She'd check later whether the woman had actually remembered the words. The anger had her, as the instincts ruled her behavior. This one had tried to take what should not be taken, and she was to be punished. As Yang shrugged off the maid's outfit, standing there in only a damp blouse, she looked at the woman who had just curled onto the bed, her legs up at her chest, her dress ripped and torn. There were more dresses around in the dresser, but the woman was just curled up. She felt a twinge of pity, which was ruthlessly squashed under the feeling of anger that bubbled up. "You wouldn't care for me if I died. The master would." The woman moaned softly as she touched the woman's hair, tilting her head to look up at her. Eyes that were a little hollow in their gaze looked up at her. There was terror in these here eyes. Fear. Something else as the woman's lips went for her fingertips before she shrank back, merely looking. "Get some rest. Don't do that again, you hear? I'm Master Jean's." A whimper. The woman's shackles long since gone. Yang had undone them when the fight had went out of her prey. Saffron Ark was not the strongest woman in the whole Ark clan. She'd been helpless to fight against someone who could use enhanced strength granted by Aura to slam her against the bed. Yang had done so after giving the prey a moment to try and slither away. Looking to see the hope fade in those eyes was stimulating. She'd kept it to one hole. It was punishment. The woman looked a little aimless, lost. The legs curled closer as her head turned away. Yang might feel a spark of pity, but her ass still hurt, as did her womb. Saffron Ark hadn't been gentle in the slightest during her education session. Neither had Yang herself been. "Go away. Please, go away." The whisper was soft as the woman turned away, her body shivering and shuddering as she cried without tears. "Don't steal your brother's toys, Saffron." The mistress she left out. The woman hadn't earned the respect of such a title. Predators know predators. She left the woman alone. She left the woman in the room, the smell of sex clinging to her. Yang's underwear had been a goner, even with her body feeling soiled and dirtied. It had been stuffed into Saffron's mouth during the rather educative moment when the music player had fallen silent. The woman's helpless tears had been amusing. The deep part of her wanted to hurt more, but the woman had been punished sufficiently. Fuck, I'm so fucking dead when they find out that I did that to her. Blake couldn't get away with it. She was Blake could get away with it. She was the master's darling, but she was just his personal whore. But she was a damn great personal whore, either way. Master Jean, she called out. Her body felt much lighter as he looked up to see her, a bright smile on his lips. Yang! The woman's attendant looked at her state of dress, a worried expression on her face. She could undoubtedly smell the juices that had made her whole body sticky, but Yang didn't care. Her nipples were so damn hard against her shirt that it was a miracle they hadn't pierced through the fabric. That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works.
It's not how any of this works, and I'm not even going to bother explaining this.
And I want to die. Put a bullet in my head.
Anyway, what does this all have to do with Five Nights at Freddy's?
You see,
Look,
this is all
this
an
may
actual...
be a theory.
But it's not a game theory.
No,
If AC has taught us anything, it's a rape theory.
Oh boy. Anyways, continuing on.
Rate Fuck Island win, kitty.
No. Master
Rate it
is...
on stream, pussy.
No. Master is perfect. She might have just been a teensy bit sick. Her heart wouldn't be beating so fast when her master patted her on the head, nor would she feel so happy when he embraced her. I'm sticky, Master Jean. You'll get dirty, she said, a hint of flirtatiousness in her voice. He laughed. Everything just faded into that warm little cloud of happiness. She felt safe. She might just be sick, though. Her heart felt like it was going to explode. Her eyes were teary as he brushed over her nose and saw the other faunus looking at her, waiting for her dismissal. The door to the room opened, and Saffron Arc made a motion for her slave to come join her. Yang could smell the need on the woman's body. Disgusting. That night, when she was back in the cell that she shared with Blake, she wondered. The cat faunus was silent, looking at her with an expression of distaste. It was clear that she hadn't left the place, given that she still looked and smelled like she needed a bath. Why haven't they come to cut my head off? I'd imagine that Lady Juniper would be beating the door down, or worse. There was a creak of the door opening slowly, as Tara, Saffron's personal slave, entered. A bowl was in her hands as the faunus looked in her direction. Mistress Saffron sent this as a reward for your service. There was obvious confusion in her voice as the faunus woman looked at her with something that might be curiosity or just awkwardness as she held the bowl in her hands. She requested that I feed you personally. Ooh, we're almost done.
Yeah,
Yay!
let's finish this.
Yeah!
I think next chapter we get the... No, I'm not going to spoil it. We get more interesting stuff next chapter, I think.
Doesn't Ruby show up next chapter?
Is that next chapter?
Let me fucking finish this already, damn it! The soup looked like it contained some meat, the smell of spices, and other things in it. Good. Wait, I have to read that properly. The soup looked like it contained some meat, comma, the smell of spices and other things in it. Good. Period. In it good. I'm gonna pop a fucking blood vessels. No, it's not the end. There's still more.
Oh my god.
Blake's look of scandalized outrage was enough to make Yang let the woman feed her, the soup tasting pretty damn great. It had big chunks of meat in it, together with spices that seemed to pop out with flavors that she'd never tasted before. The door shut, and she could hear soft conversation from her side of the wall, barely audible through the cracks in the door, the soft, hoarse voice asking whether the dear faunus had enjoyed it. What did you do? Wait. What did you do, sister? The voice of the annoying cat with less brains than retarded babies cut through.
pretty great. That's pretty great.
Okay, that's a
fine,
good
never
one.
mind.
That's a good one.
Alright, what the fuck? What the fuck just happened?
The voice of the annoying cat with less brains than retarded babies.
That's a. Alright, we're stretching, but at least it's an insult that works.
It's
It's an
a,
acceptable insult.
it's a funny insult. I'll give it that. I laughed. The voice of the annoying cat with less brains than retarded babies cut through her, listening as the incensed and infuriated look on the little cunt's face looked at it. She didn't respond, as she knew that it would just drive the bitch up the wall even further. No, wait. It'd make the little kitty bitch cream her silk panties about how she'd fucked one of the Arc sisters into uselessness. For that, if I make it through tomorrow, I'm going to break you in. Revolutions don't have a place in this world. It'd be just a little bit of getting to know the cat a little bit better. Maybe make a little show out of it for the master, if he cared for such things. She was not going to let Miss Kitty ruin her man's future. Yang Xiaolong would not stand for such a thing. She was not a revolutionary. She was a whore. At least you know it. And she knew what she was. For her owner, the man who had plucked her from the streets, fed her and clothed her, teaching her those wonderful things, gratitude was repaid with gratitude. Vengeance was sweet. Yang Xiaolong was ready to face tomorrow, no matter what it brought. If it had been poison in that cup of soup, she would gladly weather it. For Master Jean, she dreamt of blue eyes and golden hair, of soft touches and tender love. It was all she could, because she knew that a love was a tender thing for you.
Everybody clap.
Oh yeah. I died. Oh
But we're not done. We have to read the author's note.
no.
I'll say, wait, I'll quote.
I'll say something, vengeance cold. Yes, Blake was drugged with a narcotic and Yang driving her claws into her flesh with the venom coating them. It was a nice little twist and there was astute enough to see it. Period. She's still hiding as a deer furnace though. Yeah, but she's got a feeling for a blonde man. Commissioner Dude, I hope you're fine and dandy after the whole storm hit and such. This one's for you, buddy. Next chapter soon. TM.
Free at last, free at last.
So how fucking
Thank
bad was
God
that?
Almighty, we're free at last.
How
I got
Fuck you
better.
all. I hope you all die.
that was fucking bad.
The anime fucking that lasts too fucking long.
Which chapter would you guys say was the worst one? This was easily the most boring one we've done so far.
Oh.
Listen,
Just wait until later. It's gonna get
Oh.
worse. Anyway, also, I just want to say, since you guys confirmed that the author of this is a dude, what do you want to bet that he has like this big fucking beard and like a balding head, really good soy face, and he
I
probably
think-
rapes
I
children?
think he's a tranny.
Training, yeah, I'd probably say that as well.
maybe.
Okay, so a rainbow-haired land whale uber faggot. Okay.
Jesus.
Look,
Bye, perfect.
Corper pieced out on
You
that.
just fucking. Oh, never mind.
look,
Look,
I wanted to skip.
disappeared.
Look, I was going to say that at least Alien Captive got their it seems short enough to not be fucking boring.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, the worst thing about this is that it was fucking boring. It got to the point where I couldn't even laugh at it anymore. It was just
Also-
fucking boring.
Let's see if I can get this.
The
Yeah.
fucking anime fucking it was too fucking long.
Mm.
There you go. That's a good meme for that.
It's a sex scene that lasted basically 3 fucking episodes, man.
Pretty much.
I don't get what people's obsessions are with just just incredibly long sex scenes. The longer they are, the less sexy they are.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's,
you
it's
can
not,
do it. You can make it interesting if you do it right, but this is obviously not doing it right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Like,
you can do
talking
it
about
right, like actually making it interesting and
bullshit,
titillating and
so,
stuff
yeah.
to that where you're interested. But no.
No.
Look, we're talking about fanfic writing. If you're not going to make it interesting, at least make it short.
Exactly.
the biggest problem for me is that if your story is gonna have a shit ton of rape, a shit ton of sex in general, don't have the scenes drag on for what a novel would do like 5 or 6 chapters alone. That's an
Also,
insane
I'm
amount of
posting-
time.
I'm posting another meme because that actually fits into what Mad Courier was saying about how they have like bodyguards and shit. There you go. That meme fits perfectly.
Yeah. Oh my god. Fucking. Oh, and you think the bodyguard thing is fucking makes no sense? Why they don't have bodyguards now? Oh, guys, just wait until we get later on.
I also have a theory of why Tara was basically bringing her food bowl with her. It's not a good theory.
I thought we were gonna get some anime enema bullshit. Because there was an entire anime fucking scene, so I wouldn't be surprised.